Tonight we bring you greetings from E.S. Grider Stadium at Charles Leverett Field for a very historic night. The ribbon cutting taking place for the new field here at MGM. As you can see the footage from earlier, Commissioner Harwell about to cut the ribbon for a historic night for the Vikings as we get to play on some new field turf tonight on Charles Leverett Field at E.S. Grider Stadium. I'm Al Wheaton, joined by Corey LeBounty. Down on the sidelines, we have Kimberly Dunn. And Corey, there's a shot of this beautiful field right here, Charles Leverett Field at E.S. Grider Stadium.
What a huge difference artificial turf surface can make, because with the inclement weather that we constantly see in Mobile, Alabama, you don't have to worry about sloshing around in a lot of mud, and it can be used as a multi-purpose facility as well. So all of these MCPSS schools are equipped now with this artificial playing surface. It'll make a huge difference tonight for sure.
And speaking of sloshing around, we're not sloshing around in the rain, but Corey, the humidity is definitely coming down. We may be fogging up on our lenses right here, but we're going to try to give you the best coverage that we can tonight in this top 10 matchup. Gulf Shores ranked number 8 in 6A, and MGM ranked number 10 in 7A, Corey.
Couldn't ask for a better matchup. For the first time ever, these two squads will meet one another, and with Gulf Shores being the defending 5A state champion, moving up in a classification, and you look at MGM coming off an historic school-wise record season and appearing in the 7A semifinals. What a great first-time matchup we'll have on this brand-new playing surface.
Absolutely. It's a great crowd here tonight. We're getting ready for the presentation of colors, and we'll take it down to the field for our national anthem. Headed your way. We'll come back with the checklist, weather, and impact players. Let's get ready for our national anthem. Fine job of the presentation of the colors by the JROTC here at MGM, and a great rendition of the national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner, by the MGM Viking Band. Corey, let's get into it. These two teams meeting for the first time, as you just said. So let's get into your checklist. Gulf Shores is the visiting team. What should we prepare for tonight from the Dolphins?
You have to look at tenacious tackling by this Gulf Shore Dolphin defense. They gave up 31 points 1 week ago in a loss to Choctaw out of Florida, something you don't see often out of this Gulf Shores defense. Down and distance will be very important for this offense. Judd Harris, the starting quarterback, injured his shoulder. We'll see if he's able to give it a go tonight. If not, Davis Barnett will have to control down and distance and get the game to the fourth quarter. It needs to be close in the fourth quarter for these Dolphins to have an opportunity to steal a win here in Sims, Alabama. For the Mary G. Montgomery Vikings, They need a rapid reaction and response. They can't get off to a slow start. They want to start fast, and we'll see if Zach Golson dials up the great offensive calls that he is known to mastermind. Finish drives. They were able last week. They lost in overtime, but weren't able to capitalize and finish drives, put points on the board, and they must avoid poor penalties. Penalty yardage really hurt them 1 week ago in their first and opening game, but the biggest improvement, it's coach speak, is from week 1 to week 2.
You're right about that. Last week, between the two teams, we had a total of 21 penalties between Blunt and Viger. Hopefully, we won't see that many flags tonight. Well, Corey, we talked about we may not see the rain, but the humidity is definitely here. Let's check in with our third member of the crew, Kimberly Dunn, for our BSN weather forecast.
Al, you said it right. Humidity is what these players will truly be battling tonight. The humidity tonight at kickoff is starting at 82%. Is just going to go up from there all the way to 90% humidity. The temperature actually isn't that bad. We're only in the low 80s, and it's going to dip down even into the 70s, but that humidity is what might stumble these players tonight. But there is a lot of excitement out here on the field. Both of these teams are ready for their redemption game, and we will see which team is able to come away with that redemption win.
You're right about that, Kimberly. I think redemption is the word, Corey. At the end of the night, one of these teams will be 0-2.
Yeah, that's huge when you think about it, because both of these teams coming off of back-to-back successful seasons want to get things started. Region play is really what matters, but you want to have some momentum going into region play.
All right, how can they have the impact? Well, we'll find out who the impact players are right now. Corey, Gulf Shores, once again, the visiting team. Who's making an impact for the Dolphins?
Landon Everett. He splashed onto the scene for these Dolphins 1 week ago, had 20 tackles. He's a junior linebacker. We'll be calling his name early and often for this defense of Gulf Shores. Also, Colin Wilson. This young man is a Mississippi State verbal commit. He had almost 2,000 yards rushing 1 year ago as they won the state championship, so we'll see him possibly at Wildcat. Also, running back in the backfield for the Dolphins. The impact players for the Mary G. Montgomery Vikings. It starts with number 8, Shondell Harris. This young man has an Arkansas offer, but it's on the defensive side of the football.
Wow.
We saw him 1 year ago as a cornerback in the defensive side of things. Now he's taking over command. This young man can absolutely, he's a speedster, dual threat style. And again, Jordan Simmons, he comes from his jack linebacker position. He is a senior as well. He is going to be leading this MGM defensive attack.
All right, Corey, we'll be sure to keep our eye out for those guys making an impact. Speaking of impact, down on the field, it's time for our coin toss with our head referee, Sean Kelly.
So if I ask for a white cap, you come to me, right? Same with black, right? Let me tell you what the most important thing is about the whole night is going to be sportsmanship, right? White will talk to white, black will talk to black. We're going to have a good night, okay? Everybody on the same page? All right. That is heads, that is tails. That is heads, that is tails. You're the visitor, so you call it.
What's your call? Heads?
He called it heads, fellas. Here we go. It is a tails. You want to toss.
We want to receive.
Okay. Which goal do you want to defend?
That one.
You want to defend this one? All right, swing over here, white. Black, swing over here. All right. Black will receive. All right, guys, come on in. Let's shake hands. Enjoy yourselves. Good luck tonight, guys.
And there it is. MGM wins the toss, and they're going to take the ball. Let's take a look at our officials for tonight, led by White Hat Sean Kelly, Scott Seeley, Lonnie Eaton, Raymond Shelley, Jeffrey McCurley, Jason Sullivan, and George Washam. They will be on the call tonight. About 2 minutes away from kickoff, we'll take a quick 30-second break and come back with Gulf Shores versus MGM. It's our MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
Our children with special needs deserve a place to play. That is why we are coming together to build the Miracle League of West Mobile Schmidt Family Park. It will include a special needs ball field and playground, regulation baseball and softball fields, and more. We have raised more than $1 million and construction will start soon, but we need your help to complete the project. Visit mcpss.com/Miracle League to donate and to learn more. Any dollar amount will help bring a smile to a child's face. Together, we can make a miracle.
And there are the Vikings, and Corey, there are the future Vikings coming onto the field. It's a big community night here. It is the home season opener for MGM, and what a way to do it. We had some fireworks, and folks out here having a good time this season.
Absolutely. This is just a great high school environment. You have a 7A school versus a 6A school, and what's notable here, Zach Golson and the Vikings won the toss. They wanted to go ahead and strike early. It's going to leave it up to this defense led by defensive coordinator Brian Van Gorder. And Brian Van Gorder used to be the defensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons,
Sure did.
Georgia Bulldogs, Auburn Tigers, and Notre Dame. And his defensive assistant makes his return. Paul Rhodes was the head coach at Iowa State, the defensive coordinator at Auburn and Pittsburgh. So you have just a plethora of collegiate coaches across the way for Gulf Shores, and an outstanding staff for the MGM Vikings as well. So, man, Al, time to buckle up for week number 1 of high school football and the opening of this brand new turf field.
Beautiful, beautiful field here that they have done, putting in the field turf. MGM dressing out about 95 players tonight, only returning 3 on offense, 3 on defense, but Zach Golson is loaded with 33 seniors on this Viking squad. Now across the field, Gulf Shores dressing out about 75 players, returning 4 on offense and 4 on defense. Corey, only 9 seniors on this Dolphins squad, defending 5A state champions. They took a hit last year, losing some key players who graduated off of the Dolphin squad. So this is going to be an interesting situation here for Coach Husband.
Yeah, I agree with you. The Dolphins return only 4 starters on both sides of the ball. And anytime you return any starters, that's a benefit for you. But you're going to get better as the season goes on because you really haven't had that in-game experience. You're used to playing JV or mop-up football. But when the Friday night lights shine on varsity teams, it's going to be fun to see which team responds because it's kind of youth versus youth. Both teams kind of reloaded, not necessarily rebuilt.
Correct.
But this is going to be an outstanding contest for all our viewers.
Back to receive for MGM, number 1, Shamar Elston, number 2, Jakenyon Allen. Coach Golson told us he definitely is a guy he wants to get the ball into the hands of tonight with Allen, very explosive. And back to kick for Gulf Shores. Taylor Barkley handles all the kicking, punting, kickoff duties, everything for the Vikings as we're just moments away from toe meeting leather. And there's a kick. It's a surprise, an onside-er. Did it go 10 yards? And it looks as if Gulf Shores is going to steal a possession for MGM. They're going to mark this ball at the 48-yard line of MGM. Take a look at the Gulf Shores offense. The Dolphins led onto the field by sophomore quarterback Judd Harris. Harris was injured in last week's game, but is recovered and gets the start tonight. Senior running back and Mississippi State commit Colin Wilson, one of our impact players, provides instant offense and a solid ground game for the Dolphins. So look for him to get the bulk of the carries tonight. When Gulf Shores passes, look for Harris to hook up with receiver Nick Hampton. Up front, the Dolphins are anchored by senior right tackle Rylan Anderson. He checks in at 6'2", 295. The Dolphins average 295 across the line. And a little wildcat play right there to Colin Wilson. Just talked about him, Corey, and there's an impact he's having already. Coach Hudspeth trying to catch him off guard here at MGM.
And it was a great job on special teams execution by the Dolphins, catching the Vikings off guard, and it went 10 yards, was a live football, and we see here early Judd Harris. We'll see if he comes out or whether they're going to go ahead and stay in this wildcat formation. I mentioned the injury to Harris's shoulder 1 week ago, and it looks like it is going to be Wilson in the wildcat.
Wilson still back there. They fake the jet sweep handoff. Wilson's going to keep it. Picks up a yard or 2. We have our first penalty flag of the ball game as it comes out. Carter Bird was in motion. Correction, Carter Davis was in motion for Gulf Shores, but Wilson decided to keep it. Let's see what the call is from Sean Keller.
See an MGM cheerleader.
Legal block below the waist.
Block below the waist. That's going to push Gulf Shores back.
Carl Smith Jr., the 5'11", 200-pound senior defensive end, comes up and makes the stop for defensive coordinator Alex Page. And we'll see exactly where they decide to mark.
Got a personal foul. Shot block on the offense. 15-yard penalty. Still second down.
6 tickets for $10.
Corey, you had just talked about the experience, the professional experience on this Gulf Shores coaching staff, and look what they do. They come out and they play trickeration with the onside kick to steal a possession for MGM. But right now they're going backwards. Ball is at the 43-yard line of Gulf Shores. Second and long coming up here for the Dolphins. Wilson still back in this Wildcat for Gulf Shores.
And that's something to keep an eye on. Wilson deciding whether he wants to throw or pass, and it's going to be almost intercepted.
Almost intercepted, intended for Blaze Thomas. Incomplete pass, third and long coming up here for the Dolphins. If they don't get any points, the one thing they did do was surprise Zach Golson. So, Corey, we can expect possibly more surprises later on tonight.
The biggest thing that you must notice, though, is Judd Harris not being in this contest. That's something that head coach Hudspeth has been working on all week, but you don't want to be behind the sticks with an inexperienced quarterback, one that's playing the Wildcat and is just a pure athlete on the field.
Play clock under 10 seconds. Let's see if Gulf Shores actually snaps it or calls a timeout. There's a snap. Up the middle goes Wilson. MGM trying to collapse on him. And they do get him down just past the 45-yard line. So it's going to be fourth down. And the sneak possession doesn't pay off for Gulf Shores.
Great job of our impact player for the Vikings, Jordan Simmons, coming up from his linebacker jack position and making the stop. Fourth down and officially 15 yards to go. And like you said, we'll see if the Vikings here can stay solid on special teams here without committing a penalty that will give Gulf Shores an automatic first down.
Jakenyon Allen back to receive this punt. Taylor Barkley standing at his own 32-yard line. Nice punt, nice hang time from Barkley. Kicks it away from Allen. And Gulf Shores is going to down this ball near the 15-yard line. So they steal the possession. It doesn't pay off, but they do pin the Vikings at their own 15. Let's take a look at this MGM offense as they get ready to head out on the field, led by quarterback Shondell Harris. He's a junior, but as a former running back, he's a dual threat for the Vikings. One name we may call a bunch tonight is Devin Petway. Coach Golson called him a Swiss Army knife for the Vikings. He may actually play some defense as well. When Harris passes, he'll try and connect with receivers Jaden Smith and DJ Broughton. That name's familiar. Broughton is 6'5" and plays basketball for the Vikings. Up front, MGM averages 298 pounds across their offensive line. First and 10 from their own 15. Harris has time, flushed out of the pocket, almost sacked. They're going to say that's incomplete. Sean Kelly says it's incomplete. The ball was going forward, but look at the hustle of Gulf Shores all on top of it.
Great pressure by Gulf Shores, and we mentioned their defensive gurus on the sideline, Brian Van Gorder and Paul Rhodes, both dialing up a great play pressure by Adam Duncan, the 5'10", 191-pound sophomore. And again, it is second down and 10 yards to go as Harris, he is that dual threat quarterback. He's 5'11", 185-pound junior, backed up Jared Hollins 1 year ago and played on the defensive side of the ball.
One of the officials alerting the MGM player he may need to get out of the game for a moment to a possible equipment issue there, Cora.
Yeah, you definitely have to check out if there's an equipment malfunction, but second and 10 for the Vikings from their own 15-yard line.
So Shamar Elston comes over from defense to play receiver. Handoff to Thomas White as he goes forward, maybe for a short game, possibly one. Could be no gain. They're leaving it at the 15, so it's third and 10 once again for MGM.
Cameron Helton, the 6'1", 190-pound sophomore defensive end, does a great job of going down the line of scrimmage, beating his offensive lineman at the point of attack and making a tackle, not for loss, but for no gain.
Trip receivers to the right for Harris. He's flushed out into the pocket, coming to the near side near the numbers. Makes the turn, has the speed, up toward the 50 and forced out of bounds. That's that dual threat capability we talked about with quarterback Shondell Harris.
And you look 1 week ago, Harris had 18 rushes for 105 yards. You see him step up in the pocket. No one was open. He turns on the Jets and gets the first down of the game for the Vikings. They mark that football at their own 48, but you'll see the dual threat ability of Harris.
23-yard pickup by Harris on the play. Goes from 3rd and 10 to 1st and 10. That's the kind of excitement he can provide for this Vikings offense. Handoff once again to White. He goes up the middle. Fumble. Ball is out on the turf. Gulf Shores jumping with glee and excitement, saying that they have it. And it is a turnover. It's been signaled. It'll be Gulf Shores football.
Great job by Landon Everett, the Mike linebacker, on this great run by Thomas White. Didn't secure the pigskin. Landon Everett, the 5'11", 205-pound junior who had 20 tackles 1 week ago, creates the second turnover of the game. And Gulf Shores, they are making their own breaks to begin this contest.
Offense back out on the field once again. And Colin Wilson comes out. We have not seen Judd Harris, so it could be the Colin Wilson show right now for Gulf Shores, Corey.
It will be that for the duration of the contest. Best athlete on the field for the Dolphins, just wiggling around. And when you have somebody who is verbally committed to Mississippi State, from an offensive standpoint, yeah, you just want to feed him as much as he can take it.
You got to use it. He gets past the 50-yard line, picking up about 5 on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and short coming up for the Dolphins.
That's great down and distance. That makes it so much easier for Wilson to continue to show his versatility as an athlete.
Wilson pulls it out the belly of the receiver, keeps it himself, picks up the 1st down as he plows past the 35, further into MGM territory. Gulf Shores on the move right here.
You can see the strength of Colin Wilson, the 5'9", 185-pound senior. Again, rushed for over 2,000 yards 1 year ago, 31 touchdowns, and now had 2,300 all-purpose yards for the state champion Gulf Shores Dolphins in 2023. And now he's just showing that he is going to be the definite workhorse tonight for this Dolphins offense.
That could be the case. 7:52 remaining here in the 1st quarter. One big play for MGM so far, but it's been all Gulf Shores and the Colin Wilson show. The handoff right there to Carter Davis. He picks up about 7 on that. Great carry by Davis for the Dolphins.
Yeah, and that's what you want. You want to be able to carry the ball with efficiency on 1st down and not be behind the sticks down in distance. We say keep that on schedule, and that's something that you want to do, is create down and distance situations that favor you. 2nd and 3 now for Gulf Shores.
Dolphins continuing to work out his Wildcat formation. Fumble snap picked up by Dobbins for Gulf Shores. He's going to make something out of nothing. Gets the 1st down as he is bounced out of bounds near the 14 to 15-yard line. Great recovery right there by Jaden Dobbins. Let's take a look at the MGM defense. The Vikings play a 3-4 and listen for senior edge rusher Jordan Simmons' name to be called a lot tonight. He's a run stuffer for MGM. Backing him up in the secondary is a pair of 6'2" senior cornerbacks, Shamar Elston and DeMarcus Boykin. Both are long and lanky and will try to stifle the Dolphins' passing game. Up front, the Vikings' defensive line is young. They average 238 pounds across that front line. It's 1st and 10 for Gulf Shores. Ball sitting at the 16-yard line of MGM.
You go to this 3-4 defense, you just can't let Wilson get beyond the line of scrimmage or lose containment. If you lose containment, he'll turn the corner.
He's turned the edge inside the 10. The 5 stretches out to maybe the 4 or 3. Let's see where they mark him at. Colin Wilson pretty much taking over and handling it for Gulf Shores tonight.
We just call it staying at home. Your ends have to contain. If he breaks containment and is able to turn it north and south, you might as well go ahead and put positive yardage on the board. It'll be 1st and goal as the Dolphins are deep in the red zone area.
Ball sitting at the 3-yard line.
The MGM Quarterback Club.
It has been the Colin Wilson show so far for Gulf Shores tonight.
Don't expect it to change either, Al.
They faked the jet sweep. I believe the man in motion clipped Wilson by accident, Corey. Trips him up. That's a loss. That could almost be an offensive sack right there.
Caleb Morris, 6'5", 255-pound junior nose guard, will get credit for that tackle. Tackle for loss at that, and now you're going to bring out 2nd and goal from the 6-yard line. But in this position, we've seen nothing but Colin Wilson fake the handoff or try to break to the outside, but see if the offensive line can give him a good push up front.
Center places it at the 5, direct snap to Wilson. He's got blockers, but they stuff him right at the A-gap. That 3-4 defense buckles down, Corey.
That's exactly what you need to see deep inside this red zone area. And once again, Jordan Simmons, 6'2", 240-pound senior, comes up and makes a huge stop, has help from his teammate as well, Caleb Morris. And now we're at 3rd and goal from the 4-yard line, and this is huge. Special teams have already played a huge factor.
Wilson looks to the sideline to get the call. We are under 6 minutes. Sean Kelly has not stopped for our heat timeout. Approaching 5 minutes here. Wilson takes a snap. Jet sweep, fumble. We have another turnover on the play. Johnny on the spot. Jordan Simmons, we just talked about him, Corey, and one of your impact players tonight.
That's one of the disadvantages of having a new quarterback in the game. Colin Wilson, we mentioned, he's used to playing running back, and it's not a clean exchange to his running back. But now the Gulf Shores Dolphins have 1 turnover to MGM's 2, but this one was very costly because it was in the red zone area.
Right.
As you were knocking at the 4-yard line, you turned the ball over, and now MGM will take over offensively.
We're going to take it down to the sidelines and check in with Kimberly Dunn. She has a guest with her.
I'm here with Mary G. Montgomery's newly appointed principal, Principal Diaz. How are you doing this evening?
Doing good. I'll be doing even better if we punch this in here.
Exactly. Well, there's a lot of exciting things happening on this field tonight. A new dedication of a new turf field. There was just a turnover. What other exciting things can we hope to see from MGM this year?
Well, I know that our kids have been working really hard. Our coaches have been working really hard. So, I think that the perseverance will push us through. So, hope, there was a setback a little bit last week, but, both teams played really, really hard. I'm hoping some good things are happening.
Absolutely. And as we talk about the amazing athletics that Mary G. Montgomery has to offer, we can't help but also mention the signature academies and the academics that Mary G. Montgomery has to offer. So can you tell us a little bit about those?
Absolutely. So, our signature academies, everyone's working hard. So, Mobile County Public Schools and the opening of school with teaching, learning, and assessment did a great job of preparing our teachers for, a fast start for the school year. So, now that everybody is starting to settle down, we're going to start working on our deficits based on data. And, I hope that, when ACT comes around that, we're going to perform the way that our teachers expect our kids to do that.
Absolutely. And through those academies, what are some of the connections that these students are able to make after school when they look ahead to their careers?
Yeah, so with the partnerships that we establish, there's internships over the summer. We'll have guest speakers come in. I know that we'll have a career fair, and Mobile County does a great job of putting on the career fair. So a lot of our kids will go and do mock interviews and that type of thing. So we'll get them ready to shine, whenever they graduate.
And last question for you, Principal Diaz. As you look ahead to the rest of the school year, what are the key goals and aspirations that you have here for MGM?
Well, every year that we develop our continuous improvement plan, and, we're developing that now based on the results from last year. So going through and looking at our goals and working on that, throughout the year.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for taking time to speak with us. We wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kimberly. Great interview with new principal here at MGM, David Diaz. Corey, we had a heat timeout. And now we've had
defense. It's a 15-yard penalty. First down.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against Gulf Shores after that run by Javoris Petway, so they'll tack 15 on top of that.
Petway coming in, the 5'8", 160-pound player. He is a junior for MGM, and they'll take those free yards any way they can get them. But now you have positive field position. 30-yard line is where MGM will take over their own 30 at that.
Handoff back to Petway again. Turns the edge. Gets just inside of the 30-yard line. Going to bring up about second and a long 9 here for the Vikings.
Great job, Carter Bird, coming up and making that stop from his free safety position. 6'1", 175-pound senior, had 7 tackles a week ago, and it'll be a 1-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 9 now for MGM.
Handoff for MGM. Devin Petway steps back into the backfield, picks up a couple. Let's take a look at this Gulf Shores defense. They play a 4-2-5, but they'll show multiple looks. Junior Mike linebacker Landon Everett has been called the best player on the team by Coach Hudspeth. He's physical and tough, and we may see him featured some on offense as well. Auburn commit and Will linebacker Jamichael Garrett is a run stopper for the Dolphins with Blaze Thomas at the nickel position. Look for the Dolphins defense to play quick and fast. They average a slight 196 pounds across the front. And just like that, that's a strike to Devin Petway. He just had a carry, and now he has a touchdown.
Great job by the Vikings. Harris tees it up and throws an absolute strike to Jaden Smith.
Correction,
the
Jaden Smith.
6'1", 185-pound senior with an outstanding catch. This young man has verbally committed to the University of South Alabama, and you can see why Jaguar fans are very excited that he is staying homegrown here with the South Alabama Jaguars.
That 6 looked just like a 5 to me, Corey, but it was definitely Smith on the run, hauling that pass in from Shondell Harris. Absolutely beautiful as they drop the biscuit in the basket on for the extra point. Cooper Williams will try to tack it on for MGM.
Outstanding pitch and catch. Clean pocket. Great job by this offensive line led by senior left tackle John Stevens, and the point after is true. We have our first score.
Point after no good.
So you're looking at 6-0, Al. Special teams have already been a factor. We'll see if it come back and haunt the Vikings.
Mobile County Public Schools' Signature Academy program is here to help those students who want to jumpstart their career right out of high school. With more than 100 specialized courses ranging from engineering, computer networking, nursing, welding, and more. We prepare students for college and career readiness. To learn more, log on to MCPSS.com. Mobile County Public Schools' Signature Academy program, preparing students for life.
We welcome you back to Charles Leverett Field here at E.S. Grider Stadium. MGM strikes first. We've had some turnovers. We've had a surprise onside kick, but a 43-yard touchdown reception by Jaden Smith. Those are our first points of the board. And I guess Principal Diaz called it. We got to punch it in. Corey, that was a 95-yard drive.
All led by the points off turnovers. We saw it 1 week ago in Blunt versus Viger.
Right.
You see it once again in this evening's contest. You have a turnover in the red zone, knocking at the 4-yard line, and it turns around and leads to 6 points for the Vikings. Great job, great play calling and execution on that drive.
Colin Wilson back to receive this kickoff. Gets it at about the 5-yard line, cuts to the 15, and the Vikings are waiting on him as he gets up to about the 17, as Gulf Shores will have their third possession here of the first quarter. A very exciting first quarter we've had so far.
Chris Wiley, number 29, the 5'5", 140-pound junior, with a great job on special teams, and now if you ask your quarterback, your running back, Colin Wilson, to step back onto the field, it's kind of like we saw in Colorado's game against North Dakota State with Travis Hunter. He only left the field 2 times last night for the Colorado Buffaloes. And we know Wilson does not play defense for Gulf Shores, but offensively he's being asked to carry the load. And we'll see here with him coming back out after fielding that kickoff. That's a lot of endurance that this young man is having to show.
He's definitely putting in some work tonight for the Dolphins. And I think they're going to call a quick timeout. Wilson didn't like what he saw, or Corey, as you just said, he may need a water break or something. The young man working real hard, so at 3:20, Gulf Shores is going to use their first timeout here in the first quarter.
Well, so far, defensive coordinator Alex Page has to be very pleased with what he's seen.
Yeah.
And I know both of these head coaches are not happy with the amount of turnovers. MGM, they turned the ball over on their first drive on a fumble, and then on the flip side of that, Gulf Shores, they knock on the 4-yard line of the Vikings, and they turn the ball over as well. So it's something to keep an eye on. Judd Harris, the 5'10", 160-pound sophomore quarterback, injured his shoulder a week ago, not being able to get the start tonight for the Dolphins. So that's huge news going into this contest that he's not able to play, which makes Colin Wilson, the verbal commit to the Mississippi State Bulldogs, have an even greater role in this game.
And one may say, why wouldn't they put in a backup? Well, the backup is a freshman, Davis Barnett. He had to go into the game last week. So I think Coach Husband, talking with his fellow coaches, they're going to go with the guy with experience. Looking like a little flea flicker action right here off the jet sweep. That pass complete to Dobbins. Blaze Thomas with the pass. That's a first down, and the Dolphins move the chain.
Yeah, you stay laterally, and that's a great job of Thomas being able to bring that pass in. The 6', 160-pound senior is able to go ahead and move the sticks and get Gulf Shores a well-needed first down. It gives their offense a little more time on the field, their defense a little bit more of a breather.
19-yard pickup by Gulf Shores. Ball up to the 40, Dobbins with the run. He has basically come over from defense to play some offense tonight. Jaden Dobbins with the carry right there for the Dolphins.
Jordan Doss, the 5'11", 205-pound junior Will linebacker, and Drake Manning, the 5'11", 200-pound junior Mike linebacker, tag teaming on that stop. Second down, and we'll call it 6 yards to go for the Gulf Shores Dolphins.
I guess it kind of makes sense, Corey, when you have your running back playing quarterback, you got to get your strong safety to come and play running back for you.
Why not? Anything that will produce positive yardage for this Dolphins offense will be critical tonight.
First to 10, second down for Gulf Shores, rather. I believe we're going to have a flag on the play right there. A lot of motion going on from Gulf Shores.
Happen on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
So that false start is going to cost them 5 yards. It'll push them back to the 36, back to almost the original line of scrimmage. So we'll call it 2nd and 9 coming up here for Gulf Shores.
And that's one of the things I mentioned at the top of the broadcast in my checklist that Gulf Shores wants to stay away from. Long down and distance situation, especially with Wilson having to play basically a wildcat and run every single possession.
Wilson with the carry. Cuts up near the 40, still on his feet, picks up the first down. He's loose. One guy to beat as he is caught by DeMarcus Boykins. That was a touchdown-saving tackle by the cornerback.
Outstanding strength by this young running back, Colin Wilson. And I say young because he is young to play in the quarterback position tonight. He just uses his strength. It is the old pitch left, pitch right, pitch up the middle. Just give it to Mr. Wilson to get things done.
And look at him cut back, right back up the middle.
So much upper body strength. Again, this young man rushed for 2,000 yards, had 2,300 all-purpose yards. You can see why he had over 31 touchdowns 1 year ago for this state championship Dolphins program.
I don't know what was going on with the chain gang, Corey, but they're right now getting into position. It's going to be 1st and 10 for Gulf Shores. Ball at the 13-yard line of MGM. Gulf Shores has gotten closer tonight. They were down to the 4-3 before a fumble. So they're familiar being here in Vikings territory.
And it's something that you want to capitalize now that you're getting your second chance in this red zone area. Ball security is going to be huge.
They give the handoff to Dobbins. He turns the corner, tripped up, tackle for loss. That's huge for MGM.
Outstanding job of Carson Hedrick, the 5'9", 150-pound junior free safety, coming down and making a great shoestring tackle. Again, breaking containment. If you break containment, you're going to leave it up to your safeties to make that stop. It puts the Dolphins behind the chains at 2nd and 12.
2-yard loss on the play. Exactly 60 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. A very exciting first quarter we've had, Corey LeBounty.
Absolutely, and as we're winding down this first quarter, probably be the last snap of the quarter.
Wilson going to keep this one. He's got an alley, and he just steps in. That's a 15-yard run, score, touchdown, as Gulf Shores gets on the board with 39 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
And once again, folks, you're looking at Colin Wilson, the 5'9", 185-pound senior. Once he breaks containment, one little move, you can see the wiggle in this young man, the upper and lower body strength. He was determined to find the end zone and puts Gulf Shores' first points of the game on the board.
Taylor Barkley on for the PAT. Snap, the hold, the kick, up, and good. We'll take a break. Gulf Shores back in it, up by 1, 7-6 over MGM.
If you look at the numbers, Mobile County Public Schools is making great strides. With more than 53,000 students, 7,000 employees, and 90 schools, we are consistently increasing our 4-year graduation rate and our first-class pre-K program. We continue to strive for national recognition and continue to prepare our students for the global workforce. And we do all of this with one goal in mind, to equip and empower college and career-ready graduates. Mobile County Public Schools. We're learning today, leading tomorrow.
Hey Alexa, tell me about Mobile County Public Schools.
With 53,000 students in 90 schools, Mobile County Public Schools equips and empowers college and career-ready graduates. Several MCPSS schools are ranked among Alabama's top 10. Yearly, graduating students earned about $110 million in college scholarships and 10,000 career credentials. MCPSS is learning today, leading tomorrow. Does that answer your question?
To find out all the latest news on what's happening in Mobile County Public Schools, be sure and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter. Mobile County Public Schools, we are learning today, leading tomorrow. And this year it is growing greatness for the Mobile County Public School system. Gulf Shores on top 7-6, and it has been the Colin Wilson show so far. Corey, he has accounted for 108 rushing yards just in this first quarter alone for Gulf Shores. Nice run back there by Jakenyon Allen. Let's take a look at that scoring drive. 15-yard run by Colin Wilson. 83 yards, Corey. MGM's touchdown drive was 95 yards, but look at the time they used, 4 minutes and 22 seconds.
And what's huge, Al, is you look 1 week ago, Colin had 18 rushes for only 56 yards.
Big difference.
18 rushes for 56 yards 1 week ago in a 31-7 loss. This week, with him playing quarterback instead of running back, yes, the rushing attempts and the yardage is going to be better.
They have definitely gone up for the young man. 33 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, possibly our last play of the first quarter. Shift as the MGM gets set in their position. Toss out to Jaden Smith. Smith on the run into Gulf Shores territory. Big run by the young man. Already caught a touchdown tonight, Corey.
You can see the blazing speed of this wide receiver, 6'1", 170-pound senior. And once again, you mentioned him having that touchdown catch. You can see why he had separation from the corner. You're not going to be able to press him at the line of scrimmage at all because he's just too fast. You have to respect him and give him a nice cushion from the rest of the game.
And that will be our last play of the first quarter. MGM going to let the clock run out. Clock did stop momentarily to move the chain, so Harris doesn't even have to snap this one. After one, it's Gulf Shores on top 7-6.
That is the end of the first quarter.
Very exciting first quarter that we've had, Corey. We've talked about it. Very huge 83-yard drive right there for Gulf Shores. MGM had a 95-yard drive for their scoring touchdown, but we have to say Colin Wilson, you just talked about it, 108 yards in the first quarter alone compared to what he did last week against Chattahoochee High. It's been a night and day experience for the Dolphins.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this young man is verbally committed to an SEC school for a reason, and he had over 2,300 all-purpose yards for a reason. We all remember Ronnie Royal, who was the MVP of the state championship game 1 year ago, who is now at North Carolina State. But what a 1-2 punch that was a year ago, and now Colin Wilson, because of the injury to Judd Harris, really taking over for the Dolphins offensively. Offensive coordinator Kenny Edenfield really getting the job done, and it's an outstanding game here first quarter wise.
Take a look at the stats from the first quarter right there on the ground. A total 119 rushing yards for Gulf Shores. They have actually eclipsed the total yards put out by MGM at 116. Turnovers tonight too for MGM. They lost that onside kick and one for Gulf Shores with the fumble. So far, Coach Golson should be happy, Corey. No penalties against MGM so far.
That's huge, and this rhythm of this offense, Harris, he shows the versatility and not taking the hit and stepping out of bounds. That's what you want to see, is a maturation of a quarterback that doesn't take unnecessary hits when the play breaks down.
No gain on the play, so it'll be 2nd and 10 coming up here for MGM. Well, actually, he took a 1-yard loss, so it'll be pushed back to the 44. So 2nd and 11 here.
And look at the trips to the right, Al. Something to keep an eye on. The perimeter passes is something we haven't seen yet tonight for the Vikings.
And there's the timeout call by Coach Golson as the play clock was continuing to expire. Looked as if Harris was a bit confused talking to the receivers. We'll take a break and come back and bring you more action. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
High school students, are you looking for a way to become a better leader? Then the Junior Officers Training Corps may be what you're seeking. If you would like to develop self-reliance, learn ways to be more responsible, and improve your communication skills, you can do that and more when you register for the Junior Officers Training Corps. The JROTC program is available to all high school students in Mobile County. JROTC, we build a better you.
Zach Golson calls a timeout at 11:50 to talk to Shondell Harris and the offense. Corey, they looked a little discombobulated, a little disheveled after the coming out of the end of the first quarter there.
Very smart timeout. I mean, you have 3 to burn and can't take them back into the locker room with you. But I want to see here the quick, short perimeter passes. See if you can get Jaden Smith. You've already shown Harris's ability to go vertical, but hit those wide receivers right there on the outside and show the speed of all these wide receivers in the lineup.
Harris rolling out to his left. A flag comes in, typically thrown in the area of a possible hold. Let's see what the call is going to be from Sean Kelly.
You're already at 2nd and 11.
Yeah, you're right about that. You don't want a hold in this situation. That'll put you back to 2nd and 21.
MGM walking backwards already.
I believe that's the case. get the call here from our white hat.
Holding on offense. It's a 10-yard. Second.
So that is going to push them back to their own 46. So, Corey, that's going to set up an easy 2nd and 21 here for the Vikings. Something you don't want to have coming out of a timeout.
Yeah, and it does change the play calling and the formation for the Vikings as offensive coordinator Zach Golson signals into Harris. But Harris keeps his eyes down the field. We'll see if he's able to find some quick outlet passes to the backside of the backfield as well.
Fake to the man in motion. Harris keeps it, and he is just eaten up right at the 47-yard line. Maybe picked up one.
Adam Duncan, 5'10", 191-pound sophomore. We've called his name a couple of times tonight as this 4-3 defense that is being played by the Dolphins and is helped out by the penalties of this offensive line. Now you're looking at 3rd and close to 17, 18 yards to go for the Vikings.
Kenyon Allen just to the left of Harris goes into motion. Empty set. Harris has time. Trying to reach Allen. Throws it up. It is tipped. Almost tipped into his hands by Jaden Dobbins.
Huge play by Jaden Dobbins, the strong safety, 5'7", 160-pound senior. Shows his speed, being able to read the eyes of Harris. But Harris shows that great arm strength once again. And I do believe for the first time here in the first half, the MGM Vikings will have to punt the football away to the Dolphins.
Ethan Baumgartner on to punt for MGM. Back to receive for the Dolphins, Blaze Thomas. Oh, snap for Baumgartner. Puts it straight up. Great hang time. Not much distance, but he gets the roll. Nice roll right there for the Vikings. Inside of the 20, they're going to pin him at the 18-yard line.
And now what it's going to boil down to for the Vikings is making sure that they wrap up, because it's already been shown Colin Wilson is not one that you can tackle up high. You're going to have to go ahead and take the legs underneath from this horse, because he definitely gets on his pony and goes on this beautiful brand new sprint turf here in Sims, Alabama.
A great crowd tonight here out for the season home opener for MGM, and a nice decent crowd that came over from Gulf Shores as you look to the visiting stands as well, Corey.
And that's what you want to see. Friday Night Lights doesn't get any better. Is the first ever meeting between these two teams.
Empty set for Colin Wilson. One man comes into motion. They fake it. We've been seeing this all night, this Wildcat formation, with him just basically running it right up the middle. Picks up maybe 3 or 4. One of the Vikings lost their helmet. He may have to step out for a play.
Also, a Dolphin lost his helmet as well. The two that were blocking
I didn't see
one
that.
another
Okay.
both lost their lids.
So they'll both have to come out for one play.
And here we are now at 2nd, and we'll call it 5 yards to go for offensive coordinator Kenny Edenfield. And it's a little bit more manageable when you're at 2nd and 5, because all you have to do is get behind this big offensive line for the Dolphins. Harry Brennerton, Keller King, Brantley Akins, Oren Breland, and Ryan Alexander, the big push up front for the Dolphins.
And that's one thing they've done for the most part, Corey. They've stayed in front of the sticks tonight, running behind the legs of Colin Wilson out of this Wildcat. So it has worked to their benefit a lot tonight.
And again, Mr. Wilson, as Dennis the Menace used to call it, you just have to make Mr. Wilson, you have to tackle him down low, because again, he gets this beyond the line of scrimmage. He makes them pay defensively.
Wilson, patient, just patient, and gets the first down. That will move the sticks. First down coming up, ball at the 32-yard line. Also coming up at halftime, the Chick-fil-A halftime trivia challenge. Kimberly Dunn's going to try to get a winner. Had some technical difficulties last week, but I don't think she'll have that, Corey. She's got home field advantage. She's a Viking graduate, so I know she'll get a winner tonight. So stick around for the Chick-fil-A halftime trivia challenge. 1st and 10 coming up for Gulf Shores. Ball's at their own 32-yard line. Another first down by Colin Wilson. They hand that one off to Dobbins on the end around as he falls forward past the 35.
Great job by this offensive line of trying to wear down this defensive line led by defensive coordinator Alex Page, and positive yardage on first down no matter how you look at it, whether it's with Colin Wilson or on the other hand for the Gulf Shores Dolphins, it's kind of been running back by two committee. You mentioned Jaden Dobbins being able to run it for Gulf Shores as well.
So far, this game kind of shaping up the way Zach Golson told us when they played pace last week. A lot of ground and pound, kind of an old school NFL game. And boy, look at the new school speed of Colin Wilson as he cuts loose. One got to beat once again as he's going to be pushed out of bounds near the 15-yard line. Corey, he may be pushing almost close to 200 yards here in the first half tonight.
You look at the left side, this fantastic block that kicks him out to the outside by one of his wide receivers. The speed of Mr. Wilson, you're just playing catch up and you're able to get him back into the red zone area. This is the third time this afternoon or evening that we've seen the Dolphins in the red zone area.
First and 10 from the MGM 19. You can look at Wilson, just kind of winded right there, almost humped over. He's going to keep it. Breaks to the outside, fumble, ball is out, but it fumbles out of bounds. I believe it goes out of bounds near the 17, possibly, no correction on that, near the 13 or 14-yard line.
And pushed out of bounds on that play from Devin Petway. Petway does a good job, 6'2", 205-pound with the stop, and it's going to bring up 2nd and 8 now. But in the red zone area, we've seen the Dolphins turn it over once, and after that huge 50 or 60-yard run, you would expect Wilson to be gassed, but I don't expect them to run another play here. Call a timeout, regroup, and let your quarterback catch his breath.
I believe that's what's going to take place. Coach Husband calls timeout right here. They're going to give the young man a breather at 8:35. Got to thank our folks for helping us put on this broadcast, brought to you in part by BSN Sports, where you can get team apparel and equipment from baseball to basketball, all sports in between. BSN Sports, they got you covered. Check them out, the heart of the game, online at bsnsports.com. Also, we got to thank Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs. Save more lives. A portion of subs purchased at Firehouse will go to the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation. So visit our friend Neil Patel at the Greenlight Road Firehouse Subs location. Got to thank our fine sponsors, brought to you in part by bringing us the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
And Al, what a tremendous job here in the first half by Colin Wilson. And he's not going to have the yardage that he does without the big offensive line up front.
You talked about
allowing him containment issues for MGM because he's been able to hit the corner. He's also been able to kind of wait patiently up the middle also, but a lot of that is due to this great play, offensive line play that we've seen here tonight.
And speaking of patience, Corey, Wilson taking his time as he gets instructions from the sideline after every play. Man goes into motion. 2nd and 8 coming up from the 13. Handoff. Landon Everett, we talked about, he'll come over from defense, and that is a fumble. Fumble on the play, the 2nd fumble of the night for Gulf Shores. They turn it over once again inside the red zone, Corey.
That's something that when you have a new ball carrier, Landon Everett, he's used to playing wide receiver and linebacker. The 5'11", 205-pound junior led this team in tackles 1 week ago with 20. He is an impact player, but also what you must do is secure the football, and you're not able to do so. And credit this MGM defense with coming up with another huge stop inside that red zone area.
Carl Smith Jr. comes up with the pigskin, recovers it. That is huge because you can see Gulf Shores knocking on the door, Corey, to put up 6 more for the Dolphins.
Now, we've already seen one 95-yard drive by the Vikings earlier to put points on the board. Let's see if we can see another.
1st and 10. Nice carry right there by MGM.
Big gain on the play.
Big gain. I believe it may be close to a first down, maybe about a yard. No, that's a first down. The chain gain is moving.
Blaze Thomas, 6 foot, 160-pound senior nickel linebacker on the stop, but not before a first down can be picked up. And here it is quickly. MGM back to the line of scrimmage.
Going back to the fresh legs of DeForest Petway, picked up that first down. He's going to pick up another one as he's pushed out of bounds at around the 35 or 36-yard line. Petway coming in and giving the Vikings some life here.
That's what you want to see here with 8:04 remaining in the second quarter of action. You want to see the chains continue to move, keep this Gulf Shores defense on their heels. Offensive coordinator and head coach doing a great job right now play calling.
Keeping it on the ground. Devin Petway with the carry. Past the midfield stripe into Dolphins territory. That's 3 runs back to back to back for MGM, and now they're close to the 30-yard line of Gulf Shores.
And for the first time tonight, we hear Jermichael Garrett's name mentioned, the young man that is a verbal commit to Auburn University, 6'2", 200-pound junior from his will linebacker position, comes up and makes the stop on the play. But you can see here that there must be a penalty flag because the yard markers have not moved at all.
Officials were discussing the call near the 35-yard line, close to
the play
Gulf Shores.
That unsportsmanlike. On the defense, it's a 15-yard penalty for first down.
That's the second
That'll tack on.
unsportsmanlike
That's right,
that we've
Cora.
seen, and that's 33 yards for the MGM Vikings, giving them another first down. And I mentioned the fact that their first drive went for 95 yards, scoring drive that is. Here's another one that they're able to put together and really have the Dolphins really right now.
It's going to be close to it where the fumble was recovered by Carl Smith Jr. So it's 1st and 10, ball sitting right at the edge of the red zone on the 20. Another run play for MGM. Petway again. Gang tackling by Gulf Shores, trying to bring him down as he gets inside of the 10, close to the 5. A helmet comes off for a player. Let's see, they'll mark him, I believe, at the 6.
And Petway doing a wonderful job of continuing to churn his feet as there were 4 Dolphins trying to make that initial stop. And it is our ball carrier, Petway,
yeah,
who did lose his lid on that play. But my, oh my, how the field has flipped in favor of the Vikings here on this drive.
MGM trying to get points off of turnover. Staying on the ground, Javoris Petway, he gets inside of the 5. He is upended right about at the 4-yard line.
Tremendous job of stopping that touchdown tackle on that play. And that is going to be, I do believe, Carter Bird on the stop for the Dolphins from his free safety position. 2nd and goal now. Looks like the ball is going to be spotted right at the 4-yard line of the Dolphins.
No pass attempts on this series so far. Whistles from the far official. I believe Gulf Shores has called a timeout. Coach Hudspeth wants to give the defense a break. That's their 2nd timeout they have used at the 7:05 mark here. And Corey, you talked about flipping the field, but let's talk about flipping the momentum. Since that fumble recovery right there by MGM, they have just plowed down the field against Gulf Shores.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it was just a matter of time for MGM to go ahead and have this Dolphin defense really. And that's exactly what the tempo that head coach and offensive coordinator Coach Golson has created on this drive. It has caught Gulf Shores a little bit off guard.
Yeah.
And you can see them being a little bit tired, but it is momentum that definitely has arrived. And we'll see if in the red zone area, MGM is able to score, unlike Gulf Shores, who's been in the red zone area twice tonight. And because they fumbled in the red zone area twice, they've only having 7 points on the board. So we'll see exactly what happens here with MGM. They have to have great ball security also, but Shondell Harris, he's been fresh, has not had a lot of rushes here on this drive.
Right.
You can look for him to definitely be a factor and be a go-to guy, a dual threat. He's shown his arm. He's going to show his legs also.
2nd and goal coming up here for MGM. Let's see if they'll keep it back on the ground. They get Devin Petway back in. He's trying to get past the 5. I believe they're going to hold him up at the line of scrimmage of the 4. So that's going to bring up 3rd and goal for the Vikings.
Landon Everett with the stop, the young man who fumbled on the opposite end of the field, playing both ways for the Dolphins. But that's what you do when you have athletes who are able to do and play both ways. You put your best guys on the field, and now it's 3rd and goal, money down. We'll see if MGM is able to cash in or cash out for the Dolphins.
Huge play call right here coming up for Zach Golson and the Vikings as we approach 6 minutes remaining in the 2nd half. I hear whistles, and I think Golson ran down to call a timeout. I believe the play clock was about to expire, Corey. So Coach Golson calls the timeout, and we'll take a break, come back. 3rd and goal coming up for MGM.
Missing 2 days of school per month has a negative effect on student achievement, and that chronic absenteeism is negatively impacting 1 out of every 10 Alabama students.
Studies show students who are chronically absent are more likely to drop out of school. For every 1 day your child is absent from school, it takes 3 days for them to catch up.
So if I am not sick, make sure I'm at school, because missing school means missing out.
A teacher is one of the biggest investors in a community.
They impact the lives of those we value the most.
Teachers share knowledge which helps shape and mold our future leaders.
Teachers show direction and help build a sense of purpose.
Are you ready to make a change? For more information on teaching opportunities, teacher incentives, or to apply with the Mobile County Public Schools, log on to www.mcpss.com.
It is 3rd and goal coming up here for MGM. Zach Golson called a timeout. Corey, let's see what play he has drawn up. Devin Petway in the backfield, along with Thomas White flanking Shondell Harris. Low snap, direct snap to Harris, and he barrels his way into the end zone. The Vikings hit pay dirt.
Great job, 4-yard touchdown run off of the fresh legs of Shondell Harris, and he is able to score from 4 yards out. And once again, it's been a great job by Shondell Harris and the quarterback on the flip side, Colin Wilson, but he shows his strength finishing this 4-yard score, knocking the helmet off of Jaden Dobbins, showing his strength that he has as a runner and as a quarterback. That's that dual threat ability that I talked about, Al, especially in the red zone area.
Just some old school smash mouth football right there by MGM. Let's see if they're going to go for 2 or if they will kick the extra point, because they missed the extra point off of the first touchdown.
I personally say you go for 2 here. People would disagree analytics and say you don't want to chase points, but in this situation, you have time to take to the sidelines to talk about what's the best available option. And again, analytics may say don't chase any points, kick the extra point and make it 13-7. But if you want to go ahead and make it a true one-score game, you go ahead and you possibly get Harris out of the pocket. You just had tremendous success on the left side of that offensive line. John Stevens, Grant House-Connect, Ryan Holmes, all beneficial there. Center to quarterback exchange was clean, and Harris was able to do the rest. John Stevens, the 6'3", 285-pound senior, he's a young man that has offers from North Alabama.
Right.
And again, he has played all 5 positions on this offensive line throughout his 4-year career.
I have seen his name move around on my flip chart a few times, Corey, so very familiar with this offense. I believe Sean Kelly used the heat timeout right there as we are at 6:10. MGM lining up to go for 2.
I love the play call here by Zach Golson, trying to find something that mismatches. This time he ran left for the touchdown. Let's see if he goes right for the extra point.
And goes right. I think he heard Corey LeBounty in his ear. The 2-point try is good. 14-7 is our score. MGM regains the lead. Let's hop down to the field and check in with Kimberly Dunn.
I'm here with District 1 School Board Commissioner Doug Harwell, and he has some really cute guests with him, too. This is Tate and Maverick, and they're going to try to help you out tonight, right?
They got the right answers.
They got the right answers. Well, I know that this is not only your alma mater, but also your three boys. What does it mean being able to represent this school and come back and attend these games?
It's exciting. You know, football's changed a lot out here. Well, you see the turf field, the field's changed. Just keep growing. It's just a great atmosphere for Sims.
Absolutely. Well, how have you seen MGM kind of evolve over the years, both academically and athletically?
How do I think they evolved?
Evolved,
yeah. So, you know, people always say if your football team's good, you know, everything goes. But Mary Montgomery's always been strong academically. And it, you know, the football things, baseball, our girls volleyball, basketball, everything's just growing out here. And, you know, academics is number one. But this is a great atmosphere for, you know, kids that want to be and stay at Mary Montgomery.
And now, I know your term's coming to an end in November, but what accomplishments are you most proud of that you've been able to accomplish while you were the representative for District 1?
Yeah, you know, you would think buildings or what, you know, something, but I think the thing I feel most confident about is going on the school board, bringing that business perspective and taking the education business and come together and what all we accomplish as a whole board. You know, working together with board members has been a great experience for me, so yeah.
I know that there's been a lot of accomplishments, but I know that with that sometimes there's also challenges. So what are some of those challenges that you faced during your time?
You know, well COVID, big problem. But, you know, especially in my district, it's changed so much over the years. You know, the environment, the climate, the whole thing grow. And so I think it's a challenge. People don't understand that from Central now all the way down to the Bay, you know, Mobile's big and growing, and it's a challenge for the system to keep up with it, yeah. But it's been exciting.
Well, as you're getting ready to depart in November, what would you say to who will eventually be your successor? What advice would you give them?
Keep working hard. You know, just try your best to do what's right. You're not going to always make everybody happy, but you know, I told Lonnie, just, you know, great group, great schools. I have the best principals. Just really a great leadership in my district, in this district. So just keep working hard with them, and we'll just keep excelling in everything we're doing.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for taking time to speak with. All right, Maverick, wave goodbye to everybody. Say bye.
Great job, Kimberly. Corey, you got to love the kids, man.
Absolutely.
You got to love the grandbabies there. Got to love the babies. First and 10 for Gulf Shores from the 35. Ball was kicked out of bounds by MGM. So decent field position here for the Dolphins, and an extended break and rest for Colin Wilson. Let's see if he's going to pick up where he left off before they had that fumble that ended their previous series. Keeps it once again, breaks to the left side, past the 50. Corey, he's going to take it to the house. Colin Wilson, 65-yard touchdown score for Gulf Shores.
Man, this guy is an atomic bomb for the Gulf Shores Dolphins. Every time he touches the football, he is literally willing to explode. As soon as he gets past the line of scrimmage, you know what's coming. You're not making the correct fits in the gaps.
Wow.
And as soon as he gets past the line of scrimmage, it is night-night.
First play from the 35-yard line, Wilson to the house.
He has well over 200 yards rushing here in the first half. 223.
Barkley's PAT is up. And it is good. We're tied at 14. We've got a good one going on for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
If you're looking for fun, fashionable, and affordable jewelry, it's here. It's Paparazzi. We have a variety of colors and styles of bracelets, rings, necklaces, and earrings for all occasions and for every event. New styles are added daily, which means you are always up to date with the latest fashion. For that genuine bling, join me, Charmaine Watson, the real jewelry lady, on Facebook Live Sunday through Thursday at 7 p.m. It's cute, it's fun, it's fashion, it's $5, it's paparazzi.
MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week brought to you in part by BSN Sports, where you can get team apparel and equipment from baseball, basketball, or badminton to cross-country, volleyball, or wrestling. They've got it all. Visit them online at bsnsports.com. Also, we want to thank Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs, save more lives. A portion of subs purchased at Firehouse will go to the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation. So visit our friend Neil Patel at the Greenlight Road Firehouse Subs location. Well, Corey, this probably may be the easiest scoring drive that China Power has ever put up. One play, 65 yards, 12 seconds, Colin Wilson.
It was just like last week when the opening kickoff was
Third
taken
quarter.
for Williamson, and then opening kickoff of the second half. When you have those one-play drives, it's huge, but it is done by a guy that you can see. He has a Mississippi State verbal commit right now, but, folks, he is well on his way to over 400 yards rushing.
Shamar Elston with the kick return as he gets up to about the 20-yard line. But did you notice the breakaway speed of Wilson on that run, Corey? The breakaway speed.
Again, I compare it to what I saw out of Derrick Henry a few years ago in the Iron Bowl.
I like
to
that.
where he got stronger and stronger and stronger as the game went on and was breaking more tackles. It just goes to show that this young man, again, is so strong in the upper body, so strong in the lower body. But what's even more impressive, he's not catching any cramps. He's just continuing to know what the workload is. He's playing on kickoff returns. He's also playing the quarterback position. And it's because his quarterback is injured tonight, Judd Harris, that he's able to amass all of these yards. And Al, just think about it. 1 week ago, Colin only had 56 yards rushing.
So far, 223 on 14 carries from our statistician, Matt Moore. And speaking of a carry, there's Devin Petway. Nice carry by him, gets past the 25-yard line, close to the 30, about 2 yards short of picking up a first down.
And that's what you want to see, positive yardage here on first down. And when you have 5:35 remaining in this outstanding tie game tonight, it's going to be fun to see here how we end the first half of play for the Vikings and the Dolphins.
Approaching 5 minutes left here in the first half. Don't forget at halftime we'll feature the bands. Gulf Shores brought their band over as well. Plus we have the Chick-fil-A halftime trivia challenge. Going to have a good time. Harris going to keep that one. Gets the first down. He escapes. Got a couple of guys to beat, but he's taken down at the midfield stripe right at the 50. Nice run right there by Shondell Harris.
Great ball security, though, because you look at the drill. Cameron Helton at the end of the run tried to rip the football away. Quick tempo here for MGM with their on the heels of the Dolphins.
High snap to Harris. They've got pressure on him. Looking to be a tackle for loss, about a 5-yard loss on the play. Great defense right there by Gulf Shores to stay home.
And that's what you want to see. Carter Bird coming down, but that tempo, trying to catch them slipping on first down, resulted in a loss of 4 yards. But we have two outstanding quarterbacks. I mean, you look at really Shondell Harris coming over from a defensive side of the football 1 year ago, showing his great speed. Wilson showing his outstanding speed. So behind the sticks here is Harris. Just has to make sure they have great ball security on this drive.
2nd and 15. DJ Broughton in the slot for them. He's 6'5", low snap. Harris going to pick it up before he has to eat it. Forced out of bounds at near the 45, maybe 46. About a 1-yard pickup right there. It's 3rd and 14, just like that, Corey.
Elijah Malone, 5'8", 160 pounds, senior from the field corner position, comes up and has containment. And he shows, Harris does, that you can't tackle him high either.
Right.
He's going to bounce off of you and keep it moving. But here, if you're Zach Golson and Harris on the field, who is the extended coach on the field, you want to make sure that you don't have a costly turnover. If you have to punt it away, so be it.
Bunch set to the right of Harris. They do go back to throw. Drops it across the middle. Connects with Devin Petway. Maybe a 1-yard pickup right there. The Gulf Shores defense all on it.
Staying at home, Jamichael Garrett, the 200-pound junior, verbally committed to the Auburn Tigers. Brings up 4th down. That's a safe screen call for offensive coordinator Zach Golson, but the Dolphins do an outstanding job. And here it is, trying to get them to jump off sides, get a free 5 as you take your offense and put your punting unit on the field with plenty of time remaining, 10 seconds on the play clock.
Blaze Thomas goes back for the return. MGM just going to take the penalty, push them back 5 yards. They were in no man's land anyway, so won't really hurt them right here.
Yeah, what they want them to do is try to draw them off sides, and then they bring it off.
Didn't catch Gulf Shores by surprise by one bit there, Corey.
Yeah, great job of special teams discipline, but we'll see here if the field is able to be flipped. And we'll see if the Dolphins can securely have this punt and be fine with the return.
And speaking of special teams, Coach Hudspeth is the special teams coach for the Dolphins. Fair catch signal. So it's going to be down at the 31-yard line. Great field position for Gulf Shores. Chick-fil-A halftime trivia challenge will be coming up soon. We'll get to hear the cow go moo. There it is. And Kimberly Dunn will try to get us a winner. She'll go into the stand, select someone, ask them a question, give them a multiple choice answer, and see if they'll come up with it so they can walk away with a Chick-fil-A halftime trivia pack. Coming up at halftime along with the bands as well. Beautiful night here for football at ES Grider Stadium, Cora.
It really is, and a fantastic 14-14 ball game we have late in the second quarter of action. Colin Wilson has been the showstopper tonight for the Dolphins. You better believe he'll get another opportunity to rip another big run off.
1st and 10 from their own 31. He just ran 165 yards for a touchdown, but on this play, they're going to eat him up for about a 2-yard gain, pushes it up to about the 33. It's going to be 2nd down and about 8 coming up here for Gulf Shores.
Jordan Simmons on the stop, and those are the type of licks that you want to make on the big running back Colin Wilson and quarterback Colin Wilson, because he'll start to feel those. Those will wear you down. Only 2 yards a pop equates a punting situation for the Dolphins, and I know that if he's only able to get 2 yards, no yards after contact, that's something that MGM's going to be preaching at halftime.
Man in motion, they fake the handoff. Wilson just taking his time, has a hole. Corey, you know when he has a hole, he's going to hit it and going to take off. One got to beat, pushes him out of bounds. DeMarcus Boykin with the tackle, another touchdown saving tackle by Boykin, but you don't want to be put in a situation like that all night for MGM.
I've been calling high school football, whether on the radio or whether on the television, but I have never witnessed a first half rushing performance, folks, than we're seeing tonight by Mr. Colin Wilson, who is subbing in for Judd Harris, who was injured a week ago. The first half rushing performance is almost at 300 yards, and he's not even finished, folks.
Inside the red zone once again. Dobbins with the carry. I believe he may have lost a yard on that. It's going to be 2nd down and 11 coming up.
Now what you did is run to the short side of the field, and because you go ahead and hand it off, and because of the long run, it gives Wilson a chance to catch his breath.
It does.
And again, go to the far side of the field, and he hit the circle button on that long run. He just spinned off defenders, and he gets stronger as the game goes on. We'll see if the O-line gives him a push.
Low snap. He had his hands on his hips, trying to catch his breath. Tries to fall near the 10-yard line. Gulf Shores does have one timeout as we approach 60 seconds. As you can see, Wilson laboring right there. The young man has put on quite a performance just in the first half alone, Corey.
Get him IVs and fluids at halftime because he's going to need it. And again, now being money down 3rd and 9 in the red zone, Gulf Shores turned the ball over twice. Ball security.
They give it to Dobbins. He goes to the far side trying to turn the corner. going to be slung out of bounds by MGM. Big stop right there, and it stops the clock at 31.5 seconds. 4th down, and here comes the field goal unit for Gulf Shores. They're lining up quickly, too.
Taylor Barkley is normally who kicks for the Dolphins, and we'll see if this young man is true here with 31.5 on 4th down for the Dolphins.
Just outside of the 20-yard line. We'll call it a 31-yard attempt for Barkley. Where they place this at. Snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it is good. Taylor Barkley with a 31-yard field goal. Gulf Shores regains the lead.
What's the matter, baby? You're not feeling good?
School-age children are at a higher risk of getting and spreading germs and viruses. To help protect the spread, students are encouraged to stay home when sick. Parents, it's important for your child to remain at home at least 24 hours after they no longer have a fever of 100 degrees or higher without the use of medications. Please help us maintain a healthy learning environment.
There's a lot to like about Mobile County Public Schools.
What I enjoy about Mobile County School is the extra attention my teachers give us to help us learn.
Teachers are liking their access to technology, and students are liking the quality of their education.
I like the technology that's been incorporated into my education.
And since 1826, you have trusted us to prepare your child for their future, and we like that. Mobile County Public Schools. We are learning today, leading tomorrow.
On behalf of our executive producer, Quentin Howard, director Wade Ford, and engineer Fran Conway, we appreciate you joining the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. I'm Al Weed, joined by Corley Bounty. On the sidelines, we have Kimberly Dunn. Gulf Shores on top, 17-14 after that 31-yard field goal by Taylor Barkley.
And if you're MGM, you have to take a huge sigh of relief because Gulf Shores has fumbled twice in the red zone area.
That's correct.
So it could be a lot more big of a deficit here for MGM. You're only down 3 after the numerous turnovers that you had, and we'll see if they're able to punch it in one more time before the half expires.
Jaden Smith with the kickoff return, pushes it past the 30, close to the 35-yard line. Unbelievable night by Colin Wilson, Corey. He is just putting on a one-man show for Gulf Shores tonight.
And I've seen some fabulous overall game statistics for an entire game that won't equal what we've seen this young man have in the first half. And just think, Al, he is not even supposed to be at that position because Judd Harris, the starting quarterback, as a freshman, led Gulf Shores to a state championship. In game 1 in the 3rd quarter, he hurts his shoulder against Choctawhatchee. And in comes Davis Barnett a week ago. But in order to step up to the plate, Colin Wilson and Coach Mark Hudspeth, credit to him for believing in what Colin can produce. And boy, oh boy, has he produced.
He definitely has. 20.5 seconds remaining here in the first half. Setting up a little bubble screen, getting it to Jaden Smith. Smith will pick up the first down. It'll stop the clock momentarily. And MGM will try to get another play off.
Go ahead and clock this one if you're Harris.
He does clock it. The clock stops at 7.4 seconds. Coach Golson trying to plead for a few more seconds to be placed back on the game clock. He might have to talk to the guy up top there. But they're going to leave it at 7.4, I believe.
Now, I will say this, that Harris, he can throw this football 53 yards. I've seen his arm strength, and you have to watch out here. Jaden Smith is the speedster. They have 2 over the top to protect him. That's exactly who he wants to throw it to.
Harris has plenty of room, airs it out. It's going to fall short, and that's going to take us to the end of the first half. An exciting first half that we have had, Corley Downey, witnessing the running of Colin Wilson, but also they have done it by committee for MGM. They're only down 3 points.
Yeah, really catching a break there. If you're MGM, both coaches will go into halftime talking about turnovers,
right,
especially if you're Gulf Shores in the red zone area. But I encourage all of our listeners and watchers to phone a friend, because what you're seeing is something special in the first half of high school football. It's not too often you see a running back almost have 300 yards in the first half alone, especially one that is playing a wildcat position.
Our last tally, 293 yards on 17 carries for Colin Wilson, and we haven't even touched the third quarter yet, Corey. So we know some big things could be happening in the second half. I'm with you. You better phone a friend, you better text them or something. Switch over to the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. This guy's putting up some big numbers.
He really is, and once again, his endurance, he's playing on kickoff returns. He's also playing that wildcat position. Right. Credit to the offensive lineman, though, because as soon as all you have to do is allow him to get past the line of scrimmage, he's either breaking tackles, hitting the circle button to spin off of defenders. He's getting stronger here. We'll see if he's able, if Alex Page defensively is able to make the adjustments defensively for this Viking staff.
Let's check in with Kimberly Dunn on the sidelines.
I'm here with Gulf Shores coach Hudspeth. How are you feeling about your team's performance so far tonight?
We're playing hard. I'm telling you, we got a lot of kids just going both ways, and they're pretty gassed right now. We got to find a way to refuel and have enough steam for the second half. But they're playing their hearts out. A lot of missed opportunities in the red zone that we've got to finish a couple of drives.
There have been some opportunities for some explosive plays that we've seen here tonight. Do you feel like that's going to help continue to motivate your team as you come back after the half?
Well, I think those explosive plays we made is just giving our team confidence against a really good team on the road. We're moving the ball. We had two turnovers inside the 10. If we could have finished those drives, we'd be feeling even better. But it's a lot of football left to be played. They're a big team. They can lean on you, and we've got to do a good job here in the second half of finding some more production because our guys, like I said, some of them going both ways, and they're getting pretty tired.
Before the game, we talked about the 3 things your team needed to do in order to get this win. Do you feel like they've done a good job at that?
They have so far. The only thing, like I said, is the turnovers. Yeah. That's the only negative so far. Defensively, we're battling. Offensively, man, we're getting good movement, and we're creating big plays. It's just the turnovers has been the toughest thing we got to overcome.
All right, thank you so much, Coach. I'll let you go with your team. Thank you.
All right, Kimberly, fine job right there. Coach Hudspeth, he said it, Corey, they may be leaning on him. He's got some guys playing both ways, so they definitely need a rest. It is halftime. Let's take it down to the field. We're going to listen to the Marching Dolphin Band of Gulf Shores. They brought over 125 members for their performance tonight.
Do you feel alone, overwhelmed, or helpless?
There's hope. There's hope. Call or text 988.
You don't have to face your crisis alone. If you need a safe space to talk with a trusted adult for support, reach out to your school counselor.
Do you need help to make it through everyday struggles?
Do you need someone to talk to? Call or text 988. Your social emotional wellness is worth it.
Remember, there's hope. There's help.
I have known since I was in 4th grade that I was going to be a teacher. I really just truly enjoy coming to work every day and working with different sets of kids and just watching them grow and learn.
I couldn't see myself doing anything other than teaching children, being a part of children's lives, being able to inspire them in a way that some people just aren't able to do. And to know that every day is a new day, a new opportunity to make a difference in the child's life means everything to me.
If you're looking for fun, fashionable, and affordable jewelry, it's here. It's Paparazzi. We have a variety of colors and styles of bracelets, rings, necklaces, and earrings for all occasions and for every event. New styles are added daily, which means you are always up to date with the latest fashion. For that genuine bling, join me, Charmaine Watson, the real jewelry lady, on Facebook Live Sunday through Thursday at 7 p.m. It's cute, it's fun, it's fashion, it's $5, it's paparazzi.
We are now ready for the Gulf Shores Marching Dolphin Band. Let's take it down to the field. sounds of the Gulf Shores Marching Dolphins. We'll take a break and come back with the Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge. First, bring you the MGM Vikings Band.
At Mobile County Public Schools, we believe it starts with us. That's why we offer Signature Academies.
Hello, I'm Jordan Clark, and I'm in the Health Service Academy at John L. LaFleur Magnet High School. My future career is to be an obstetrician gynecologist. With this academy, I'm learning firsthand from people already working in the industry. Shadowing them on the job really makes me want to study hard and work harder towards my career goals.
Signature Academies are open to all students in Mobile County Public High Schools. Visit MCPSS.com.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ayla, hi.
Oh, hi, Sierra. How are you?
Good. How are things?
Things couldn't be better.
What do you mean?
Well, I just started this new job as a school teacher with the Mobile County Public Schools, and it has been a life changer. Great benefits, the hours are great, and great students. Just overall, it's a great opportunity.
Oh, wow, that sounds great. Yeah. I'm going to look into that.
You should.
For more information, visit mcpss.com/job opportunities.
This is a program for any middle school student who's actually behind. This opportunity offers kids a chance to do 2 grades in 1 year.
If it wasn't for Star Academy, I would still be in 8th grade and probably still struggling.
We are one-on-one. We have small classrooms, and we're able to give students that personal touch, that personal attention.
I know I'm coming to see good teachers, good attitude, and also they're here to teach us what we need to learn.
If you look at the numbers, Mobile County Public Schools is making great strides. With more than 53,000 students, 7,000 employees, and 90 schools, we are consistently increasing our 4-year graduation rate and our first-class pre-K program. We continue to strive for national recognition and continue to prepare our students for the global workforce. And we do all of this with one goal in mind, to equip and empower college and career-ready graduates. Mobile County Public Schools. We're learning today, leading tomorrow.
Halftime still going on. Let's take it down to the sidelines and check in with the MGM Marching Viking Band. Sounds of the MGM Marching Viking Band. Right now it's time for the Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge. Let's check in with Kimberly Dunn.
Hey guys, I have a super special group of kids here with me tonight that is going to do our Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge. Are y'all ready? Yeah! Okay, so we're going to say our names, and then I want you to tell me where each of you go to school, okay? What's your name?
My name is Romy Rose. I go to Orchard Elementary.
Roman Rose. I go to Orchard Elementary.
Namaya Alexis Clark. I go to Sims Elementary.
Madison Grace Lambert. Go to O'Shea Road Magnet School.
Awesome, and show everybody what you are trying to get. They are going to be trying to answer our Chick-fil-A question to get some Chick-fil-A gift cards and a prize pack that they've agreed to share, right? Y'all gonna share it? Okay, are y'all ready for our question? All right, let's see how I think y'all are gonna do great. And it's multiple choice, so you'll have a lot of choices. You ready? The state of Alabama is bordered by the states of Georgia to the east, Florida along the Gulf of Mexico to the south, and Mississippi to the west. All right, here's the big part. What state borders the north of Alabama? So what state is right on top of Alabama? Is it Ohio, Tennessee, Louisiana, or Texas? All right, y'all think about it. Do you think you know? Right on top of Alabama. Do you think you know? All right, let's see. You ready? All right, what do you think?
Tennessee.
Tennessee, that's right. You're our Chick-fil-A Trivia Challenge winners. Congratulations, you get our prize pack. Y'all wave at the camera and tell everybody goodbye. Thanks so much.
Great job, kids, on the Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge. Almost close to the second half starting here. But before we do that, let's look at the first half stats. And Cora, we know one number is going to stand out huge. Look at it right there. 314 rushing yards from Gulf Shores. And we know one young man, a lot of that can be attributed to Colin Wilson.
Absolutely. All those yards that he has, almost 300 in the first half. You look at only 19 passing yards,
wow.
Total yardage combined, we're at almost 600 yards of total offense. The two turnovers have neutralized one another. And you go back and you see the score being 17-14, and Coach Hudspeth spoke on it. The turnovers in the red zone have been the saving grace for MGM. Now, MGM, they lost that opening kickoff to an onside kick. So they'll be kicking to Gulf Shores. And I know Alex Page is a phenomenal defensive coordinator, and he's based out of that 3-4 defense. You have to keep containment, and if they're not able to do that, we said that the state record's over 500 yards rushing. Well, you take what the defense gives you.
You have to do that.
And that's exactly what Colin Wilson has been able to do so far tonight.
So far, he has put on a one-man show for Gulf Shores. We'll take a break and come back, possibly have an interview with Coach Zach Golson on the other side. Don't move. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
I'm Keith Blackwood, your Mobile County District Attorney. I want to remind you about the truancy laws. 5 unexcused absences requires you to attend the early warning truancy program. Failure to attend the early warning truancy program can cause you to appear before a judge in circuit court. We need you to stay in school. This is a serious law, and it needs to be taken very seriously. I wish you and your family a safe, happy, and successful school year.
Mobile County Public Schools completes about $100 million in school construction each year. And we're looking for new contractors and construction vendors to help us ensure that all students are learning in top-notch facilities. Is your company interested in becoming a construction vendor for Mobile County Public Schools so you can bid on these projects? We need contractors, plumbers, HVAC installers, roofers, electricians, painters, and more. Follow these steps to become a vendor. Number 1, complete the vendor application online. Under System, select Business, and then under Resources, click Vendor Online Application. Number 2, enter the vendor portal. Click Apply to agree to the terms and click Save and Next. Number 3, enter your business information as prompted. A tax ID number or social security number will be required to complete the application. At the bottom of each page, click Save and Next. To find out what projects are currently open for bidding, visit mcpss.com/bid invitation. Follow MCPSS Facilities Facebook page and email facilities to receive notifications. Complete these easy steps, and your company soon may be part of Team MCPSS.
High school students, are you looking for a way to become a better leader? Then the Junior Officers Training Corps may be what you're seeking. If you would like to develop self-reliance, learn ways to be more responsible, and improve your communication skills, you can do that and more when you register for the Junior Officers Training Corps. The JROTC program is available to all high school students in Mobile County. JROTC, we build a better you.
I'm here with Coach Golson. Coach, what was the atmosphere like in the locker room during halftime?
Yeah, I think there's still a lot of confidence in what we're doing. We got to cut out some of the errors. We got to tackle 6. Knew he's a good player. They're doing a good job. They've had to make some adjustments without their quarterback. So, we just got to go play a good second half. Play clean, do what we do, believe in our preparation.
You've had some great runs tonight. How do you hope that you continue to have those moments of momentum builders for your team?
Yeah, we think we're a little bit bigger than them. Hopefully we can run right at them a little bit. But we just got to keep executing the plan. We've got good plays and good plan. Just got to go execute.
Before the game, you talked about the 3 things that your team needed to do to win. One of those was take care of the football. Do you feel like your team has been able to do that? And if not, what adjustments are you going to make?
Yeah, we've had one fumble, and they got a little onside kick. That was a good scheme by them, a good plan by them. Just got to take care of the ball, can't fumble it, and hopefully we'll play a little bit cleaner in the second half.
All right, thank you, Coach. I'll let you get with your team. Best of luck.
Thank you, Kimberly Cora. Let's revisit your checklist for both of these teams to see if they're doing what you said they needed to do tonight.
Absolutely. Gulf Shores, they had to have tenacious tackling, and we've seen them do a fairly decent job of that. Not necessarily anything tenacious, but we'll see if they're able to continue to tackle well in the second half. Down in distance, they've been behind the sticks, but it has not mattered because they have had Mr. Colin Wilson be able to overcome all down in distances and again get the game into the fourth quarter. So far we're close, so far so good in regards to Gulf Shores doing that. Mary G. Montgomery, they needed a rapid reaction and response. Well, they jumped up early 6-0, missing the extra point, which was huge and critical. But again, they did have a good response to start this game. Finished drives, well, we saw them turn the ball over one time, as Coach Golson alluded to, but when they get down in the red zone area here in the second half, they're going to have to put points on the board and avoid poor penalties. They've only had 2 penalties tonight so far, so it's been a clean first half of action. We'll see if they're able to keep it like that. Stay locked in, folks. Outstanding second half coming your way.
Gulf Shores about to receive this kickoff, and a young man, we've said his name a few times tonight, Colin Wilson. We'll see if he'll be coming out at quarterback, I'm expecting. But right now, Jaden Dobbins back to receive the kickoff. So they're going to give Wilson a break here, Cora. He has been going back on kick return and punt return tonight.
Look, if he wasn't drinking a case of Gatorade and taking an IV at halftime, I don't know what he was doing, because he's going to get a great ice bath afterwards tonight to relax those muscles. But here it is, second half action now.
Ball taken at about the 7-yard line by Dobbins, turns the corner up to the 20, makes his way past the 25, brought down around the 26 or 27-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Gulf Shores. And the man doing all the action tonight, Colin Wilson, just putting on a running, rushing show, close to 300 yards just in the first half alone. And now we go into the third quarter with the Dolphins coming onto the field.
Special teams tackle right there by Harbor Hunter, and he's able to get the running back down. And we'll see here if it's going to continue to be another second half explosion for Mr. Wilson.
They go with the handoff. Up the middle on the carry for Gulf Shores. Number 26, first time calling his name tonight. Jameer Alcius, he comes over from defense, Corey, playing some offense for the Dolphins.
That's what Coach Hudspeth talked about, guys being able to play both ways and not get
Sure did.
tired. But you're at 2nd and 8. That's a win for the defense there on first down. If you're MGM, you can look for Mr. Wilson here to keep the hands on the football.
He does keep it. Up the middle he goes, close to the first down marker. Let's see where they spot him. If he's at the 38, it's a first down, and I do believe it is.
And he continues to move the sticks as you have an outstanding tackle being made by the defender for MGM, and that is going to be Devin Petway, I do believe, on that stop. But you're able to go ahead here, if you're Wilson, take the play clock down to probably about 10 seconds or less to give yourself a chance to catch a breather, and that's exactly what we're seeing here.
Play clock is under 10. Being deliberate doesn't help you at all right here with Gulf Shores. Alcius goes into motion on the jet sweep they give to him, and he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Tackle for loss by the Vikings.
Cameron Smith, 6 foot, 195-pound sophomore. He just shoots down the line from his free safety position, does an outstanding job of making sure he wraps up textbook-style tackle there for MGM, puts the Dolphins at 2nd and 12.
2-yard loss on the play. Snap to Wilson, up the middle he goes. And the defense for MGM collapses right near the original line of scrimmage at about the 38. Have some extracurriculars on the other side of the 50. No flags thrown. A couple of Vikings and Dolphins getting into it there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a physical game, and no flag was thrown on the play, but you do have money down, 3rd down, in which Gulf Shores has been able to capitalize. And Al, I can't really recall if they did. It was only one time. Gulf Shores punting in the first half.
I believe you may be correct, Corey, in that scenario. I believe so. Alcius goes into motion. They fake the pitch to him. Wilson keeps it, tries to turn the edge, and there is nothing there. MGM shuts him down. He picks up maybe a yard or 2, so it's going to push Gulf Shores to 4th down, and I believe this will be a punting situation here coming up for the Dolphins.
Just power football by the Dolphins. Harvey Hunter, 5'11", 190-pound senior from his star linebacker position with the stop. And you're at 4th and 8. And the first time tonight, the Dolphins will punt the ball away to MGM. So it's exactly what the defensive coordinator, Alex Page, asked for at halftime, challenged his defense. They come away with a huge second half opening drive stop.
Taylor Barkley. Nice punt. I believe, Corey, this is his 2nd punt of the night. I believe he punted one early. And nice roll right there by Barkley. Gets it out of bounds at near the 14-yard line. Great placement by the young fellow.
It's hard to remember if there was a punt because of Colin Wilson's explosive offensive activity. But at the same time, you do see great field position for Gulf Shores in regards to flipping the field on that punt. Now, we have seen MGM with a couple of long drives here.
Sure have.
In the first half of action, and we'll see if this Gulf Shores defense gets back on its heels once again.
1st and 10 for the Vikings from their own 14. Handoff up the middle. I believe that's Javoris Petway with the carry.
Ball's handed off.
Nice run by Petway. Picked up about 6 or 7, Corey, maybe 8. Let's see where the down marker is. Yeah, that's a nice carry. We'll call it 2nd and 2 here coming up for the Vikings.
Positive production on first down and quick tempo getting to the line and looking at the snap for Harris.
Back to Petway they go. He's trying to punch and weave and mesh, but he's met to a wall of Dolphins. Maybe picked up 1 yard as he gets close. Maybe to about the 24-yard line.
Carter Bird on the stop. And they are going to move the sticks, and it's going to be
And it's enough. He got just enough. His forward progress picks up the first down. Good job by Petway right there. Chains do move for MGM.
And I want to see Harris once again with the quick perimeter passes to Jaden Smith. We'll see if he's able to come to some type of bubble screen or something that's going to be set up for MGM.
Devin Petway with the carry close to the 30-yard line, picks up a couple, takes MGM to second down. You can almost say it's the Petway show tonight between Devin Petway and Javaris Petway for MGM, Corey.
Landon Everett, another stop and another tackle for the Gulf Shores Dolphins. We'll call it second down and 5 yards to go, and quickly to the line of scrimmage with no huddle.
I will say this, Corey, with all this running, I'm pretty sure in the back of Coach Golson's mind, they're setting up some type of pass play to maybe to DJ Broughton to kind of catch the Dolphins off guard. A couple of yards picked up right there by MGM. It's going to be 3rd and about 4 coming up for the Vikings. Another run by Devin Petway.
You mentioned DJ Broughton being 6'6", 210-pound junior. He has great hops, and we'll see exactly what happens here offensively at 3rd and short.
Third and about 3 coming up here for the Vikings. Ball at the 31-yard line. Passing play. Harris rolls out. He has room. He has a guy. Pass is complete. Gets it out to guess who, Corey? DJ Broughton. We just talked him up.
And that's what you want to see, but you see that play created by rolling the pocket to the right. Harris rolls outside the first time we've seen him throw on the run with the accuracy that you just asked for, hitting Broughton Jr., a big 6'6" target. But you can continue to look for the rolling pocket. Harris can either run it or throw it with a rolling pocket.
1st and 10 from the 49. Somewhat of a bobbled handoff to Jakenyon Allen. And that's going to be a tackle for loss. He loses about 5 or 6 on the play, maybe 7 yards right there. So it's going to be 2nd and long coming up here for MGM.
And that part wasn't going to matter because Adam Duncan was on the slant from his nose tackle position, and the 5'10", 191-pound sophomore will take us to our heat timeout.
5:52, we have our heat timeout right here. We'll take a break as well. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
There's a lot to like about Mobile County Public Schools.
What I enjoy about Mobile County School is the extra attention my teachers give us to help us learn.
Teachers are liking their access to technology, and students are liking the quality of their education.
I like the technology that's been incorporated into my education.
And since 1826, you have trusted us to prepare your child for their future, and we like that. Mobile County Public Schools. We are learning today, leading tomorrow.
Mobile County Public Schools' Signature Academy program is here to help those students who want to jumpstart their career right out of high school. With more than 100 specialized courses ranging from engineering, computer networking, nursing, welding, and more. We prepare students for college and career readiness. To learn more, log on to MCPSS.com. Mobile County Public Schools' Signature Academy program, preparing students for life.
You're witnessing the first ever meeting between Gulf Shores and MGM. Gulf Shores on top 17-14. Al Wheaton, Corley Bounty on the sidelines. We have Kimberly Dunn, statisticians China Powell and Matt Moore bringing you the action here for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Let's set it up 2nd and about 17 here for the Vikings. They set up a little screen, get it out to Jaden Smith. He gets past the 45, maybe up to the 46. 3rd and long.
Jaden Smith standing upright, let Gulf Shores defenders know, look, you're going to have to hit me a little bit harder if you want to get me to the ground in that situation. But it is going to bring up a 3rd down and 12 yards to go. The blitz was coming from the weak side, and Harris, luckily he was able to get the ball out before he was blindsided on a blitz from the weak side.
Ball's at the 47-yard line of MGM. Broughton in the slot. Screen set up. Petway met right at the line of scrimmage. That one goes nowhere. Gulf Shores read the screen, and you can see Landon Everett just excited with his Dolphins defense.
Because he stayed home, Al, and if you overplay that football, it will be resulting in a first down for MGM on that screen. As anytime you have over pursuit, you dump it down to your running back and get productive yards. But it's going to bring up a 4th and 10, a punting situation for MGM. So 1 punt by Gulf Shores equates to 1 punt for MGM upcoming.
Coming up, game of the week brain buster question. We'll reveal that momentarily. Blaze Thomas waiting for the punt, setting up at about his own 26-27. Nice punt. He signals fair catch, and he's going to be downed at the 29-yard line. So decent field position here for the Dolphins. Their second possession of the second half.
And once again, they're going to be methodical with how they handle Colin Wilson, as we saw him have and rush for 293 in the first half of action. And this is the 4th year for Coach Mark Hudspeth. 6-4 in his first year, 11-2 in his second year, 15-0 in state champions in 5A. This year they move up a classification to 6A. But it is a great matchup between these two head coaches, as Zach Golson, he lost his first 4 in his first year and then ran 6 off in a row.
Sure did.
And last year with a momentum season, his 3rd year. Great 2 coaches here, high school football-wise, locally.
Dobbins goes into motion. They fake it. Wilson keeps it, plows ahead, picks up maybe 2 or 3 on the carry. Very deliberate with his running. Corey, I like how he takes his time. He's patient, and he picks the hole to go through, and then he hits.
Waiting for that hole to develop as, again, the big offensive line doing a great job. A late flag on the play. We'll see exactly what our officials did see on the field.
Sean Kelly discusses it with the crew. I believe it's against Gulf Shores.
After the play, that unsportsmanlike on defense, it's a 15-yard penalty, a first down with the yardage.
Oh, that's going against MGM. Not going to sit well with Zach Golson and the crew.
We've seen 2 unsportsmanlike called against Gulf Shores. The
Correct.
first against the Vikings tonight, but it will result in a first down. Kitty Edenfield, the offensive coordinator for Gulf Shores, and you can see exactly the shove after the play. A dead ball made it very obvious. You can play with emotions, but you have to control them and not be emotional. So there's a difference between showing emotions and being emotional.
After the run and the penalty, 1st and 10 from their own 47-yard line. Wilson with the ball for the Dolphins. He's tripped up, tackle for loss. He loses about 2, pushes him back to the 45. Good job by MGM right there.
How many times tonight have we seen him tackled for a loss? Harvard Hunter comes in, the 5'10" linebacker who is a senior, makes a great stop for the Vikings. 2nd and 12 now. And Gulf Shores, I mentioned how deliberate and patient they're going to be offensively to get Mr. Wilson set up to hit those holes patiently. It's going to benefit him here, and you can't get caught napping if you're the Viking defense.
Dobbins goes into motion. Wilson up the middle, bounces off the pile, but doesn't really get anywhere. It's going to be 3rd down and long coming up here, about 11. Here's a quick look at the Gulf Shores Dolphins schedule. Well, they get in the region play next week, and guess who they face? Saraland, then McGill, Tulane, and Blunt. Coach Hudspeth told us if he can just get over that first gauntlet, they can take a break and then kind of maybe ease up on the back half, Corey.
And that's going to be huge for them. The middle off game that will come in the middle of the season there. And 3rd and long here for the Dolphins.
Handoff. They ran this play earlier. No PI on it. Blaze Thomas had a completion early off that same play. It's 4th down coming up for the Dolphins.
And looking for his wide receiver, Carter Bird, was not able to find him. Another punting situation. So the adjustments have been made against Colin Wilson. He has not been able to get past the line of scrimmage, so containment has been very good here in this 3rd quarter of action for the Vikings.
Devin Petway hanging out around his own 30, close to 25-yard line, waiting on this punt. Barkley rolls to his right. Great punt from Barkley. Petway muffs it. That's a live ball. He did not signal for a fair catch. That is a live ball.
Recovered.
A turnover. Gulf Shores, who is Johnny on the spot, number 35 for the Dolphins, comes away with it, Corey.
Aiden Mates does a tremendous job on special teams, and that's one that, because of the angle, because of the hang time, you just wanted to field it first, and he took steps. He was backpedaling and never had himself established. Great job by the gunner cleaning up once he did have contact to make sure the person receiving the punt wouldn't be able to bounce on top of the football. And now we see MGM, I think, with their third turnover.
That is correct.
And this is going to put the Dolphins back in the red zone area for close to the fourth time this evening.
1st and 10 from the 17-yard line. Dobbins goes into motion. They fake it. They keep it. Maybe he should have given it off. Tackle for a loss. Going to push him back to the 19. They just ate up Colin Wilson.
Now what you're seeing now is the backers blitz. They're hitting the gaps and nowhere to run downhill for Wilson when he's trying to run up the middle. We'll see if the adjustment is made to where they're trying to bounce him to the outside, because so far here in the third quarter of play, the meat of the defense has done a great job staying home.
Approaching 2 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Al Wheaton, Corley Bounty, Kimberly Dunn covering the sidelines for us with the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. A lot of excitement in the first half so far in the third quarter. No scoring, but let's see what Gulf Shores is trying to do. Wilson bounces it outside, and he's met by a few Vikings. Can't even get back to the original line of scrimmage, Corey. He's short. It's going to be 3rd and 11.
Now what you're starting to see is the black jerseys outnumber the white jerseys, so the defensive adjustment has absolutely been made by MGM, and now you're at 3rd and 11, and once again, Colin Wilson, whether he's running to the short side of the field or whether he's running to the wild, now you have a substitution that has to be made, and you look to number 0, Agent Zero comes in and will give Wilson
Jaden Dobbins with the direct
breather.
snap right here. Wilson lost his helmet. Dobbins got the corner, does not get all of the corner as he is thrown out of bounds. Great tackle right there by the defense for MGM.
Caleb Morris, 6'5", 255-pound junior, I do believe on that stop. We'll take a look at an injured Gulf Shores Dolphin on the play, and it brings the medical staff out very quickly for Gulf Shores.
Wilson had to step out. He lost his helmet, and running onto the field was Carter Bird, but they pulled him back to the sideline, Corey, and sent in Jaden Dobbins at the last second to go into the Wildcat formation. Let's take a look at that replay.
Yeah, the biggest thing, Al, is when you have a new quarterback, the center-to-quarterback exchange has to be clean. And what a great opportunity there to make an open field stop for MGM, as Morris was able to do so. And now you're bringing up 4th down and another field goal attempt for Gulf Shores.
Taylor Barkley lining up for a 35-yard attempt. He is right at his range right here. He's already hit one for 31 earlier tonight. The snap, the hold, the kick, and it's blocked. The kick is blocked by MGM, Corey. The excitement continues here in Viking land.
35-yard field goal denied. We've seen him now be 1 of 2, but that may be the momentum shift here in the third quarter, late in the third quarter, that MGM needs, because you look on the outside of the snap, the hold, and just one too many black jerseys coming from that left end. Making that block was Mr. Elston.
Shamar Elston stretches out. That was huge. Corey, we know what happened in the first quarter. Gulf Shores drove down the field. MGM got a fumble, took it down and scored. Let's see if the momentum has shifted. Will it be points off turnovers? 41 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Don't worry, we got your game of the week brain buster question coming up just around the corner. Let's see what Shondell Harris is going to do as he hands it off to Devin Petway, and he is just manhandled behind the line of scrimmage.
Jamichael Garrett gobbling up the running back.
No, that's Jaden Smith. My bad. Go ahead.
You had Jamichael Garrett on the stop, the 6'2", 200-pound junior with the stop, and that will come close to being the end of the third quarter here in Sims, Alabama. And folks, what a tremendous first half. Great third quarter. Means we're going to have a fantastic finish coming your way.
MGM doesn't have to snap it, but Harris does. The play clock had been reset to 40 seconds. He rushed it. Now it's 3rd and 9 coming up as we go into the fourth quarter. But right now, Corey, we're going to go into our game of the week brain buster question. And let's get it put up, and we'll take a look-see. All right, Corey, last year, MGM had their first ever 12-win season. What year was their first undefeated regular season? 1985, 1965, 2001, or a year that I know and love, 1970. Think about that, contemplate it. And yes, it's week 2 or week 1, whatever you want to call a week. We gave you another multiple choice.
I love it. A multiple choice.
I know that's your favorite.
Multiple choice. And, you know, I know that with the great season that the Vikings had a year ago, you look at them being undefeated at home a year ago. Now that you have the ribbon cutting ceremony for this sprint turf that has been installed by the MCPSS school system, I know this, Al, that Friday Night Lights, this is the type of excitement that it's all about. 17-14 our score, and we saw no scoring in the third quarter of action. We saw the adjustments being made by the Vikings defense at halftime, and we'll see here to begin the fourth quarter whether Zach Golson can keep that home winning streak alive and be 1-0 on this brand new artificial sprint turf.
3rd down coming up here for MGM. Ball's at the 33-yard line. 3rd and about 11. Low snap to Harris, but we have whistles. I'm looking for a flag on the field, Cor. And a timeout. A timeout call by Gulf Shores. We have a break, so let's put up the schedule for MGM this season, their remaining schedule. They have yet to play a region game, so we know they'll go into region play next week. They'll be hosting Daphne, hosting Robertsdale. Robertsdale, Corey, new to 7A Region 1, and now they're 2-0. Big win last night over Alberta. And for MGM, Corey, look at their bye. Halloween night. So Coach Golson, they're going 10 straight before they take a break.
Yeah, I mean, what you're doing is banking on making the playoffs in 7A Region 1, having a chance in that last bye week to get rested up, scout your opponent, and hopefully make it into the playoffs for the 3rd consecutive season under Zach Golson.
Make sure you circle October 18th, that one against Baker. That's huge. The Battle of West Mobile, and MGM's on a 2-game winning streak over the Hornets, Corey.
That they are. And as we start the fourth quarter of action, 12 minutes away, you mentioned at the top of the show, one of these two great teams are going to be 0-2. And both teams last week lost to the Panhandle Florida teams.
Sure did.
One in overtime, MGM 17-14. Gulf Shores losing 31-7. But here, a critical 3rd down for the Vikings.
Petaway just offset of Shondell Harris. Low snap once again. Pressure is on Harris. He has to escape looking for somebody. Pass is intercepted.
Yeah, no, that is number 1. I think that's Carter.
Carter Bird with the pick of Shondell Harris, Corey.
Yeah, he just undercut that route, and You would have been better off in that situation. He was trying to direct traffic. That's going to be his first interception of the contest. But it is another MGM turnover. And you go from gaining the ball off of a blocked field goal to turn around and running it. You see him run out of the pocket, directing traffic, and just coming back and undercutting that. The timing wasn't what it needed to be, and now Gulf Shores back in operating action. And we'll see here if Colin Wilson can get the Dolphins going in the fourth quarter offensively the same way he did in the first half.
Dolphins with great field position right in front of us atop the press box here at E.S. Grider Stadium. Wilson tries to bounce it back out, but no, he is eaten up, picks up maybe 2 yards. They give him a little forward progress up to the 44.
And once again, Jordan Simmons, 6'2", 240 pounds senior from his jack linebacker position, one of our impact players for MGM, making an impactful play in the fourth quarter, 2nd down and 8 yards to go from the 44-yard line of MGM.
And notice how deliberate Wilson is still continuing to be. Play clock approaching 15 seconds, looking to the sideline to get the call from the offensive team, offensive coordinator Kenny Edenfield sending in the signals. Play clock under 5. They'll snap it with 1 second. Wilson takes his time, tries to hit the hole, and the Vikings hit him. They stand him up at the 45-yard line, Corey.
The outstanding adjustments made by MGM's defensive staff here in the second half. And when you turn around and you make that type of a stop, Connor Tillman, 5'10", sophomore, with the stop, and now you're at 3rd and 9. Down in distance-wise, this is where Wilson popped it to the outside in the first half.
You call it money down, Corey. Here it is. It's on the line. 10:25 remaining in the contest. They give it to Dobbins. He tries to weave his way, and MGM makes a stand after that INT. That is 3 runs in a row and 3 stops right there for the Vikings.
Another great stop, once again, by Caleb Morris and Jordan Simmons. Both of those guys making sure that no gain was had, but you're in no man's land unless you want to flip the field. And if I'm Gulf Shores, special teams coach is your head coach in Mark Hudspeth.
Sure is.
So he's going to make the decision to go ahead and flip the field. We've already seen one onside kick, and the special teams coach, the head coach, paid off for him once, but great hang time and a fumble on the last punt. We'll see if MGM can field this one cleanly.
The one thing I'm looking at, Corey, on the field is Colin Wilson kind of hanging out where one of the up guys is.
The 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
So Gulf Shores is going to take the delay of game. That'll push Barkley back 5 more yards, so they'll snap it from the 50. But Wilson is one of the up guys, and we saw them with the onside kick. You just said Coach Hud is the special teams coordinator.
Great hang time, I do believe, coming on this punt.
Last punt was muffed by MGM. They kind of stay away from this one. It's going to get the roll, and they're going to down it right near the 15-yard line. All right, let's put up our game of the week brain buster question. Corey, you've had time to think about it. So let's ask the question and see what your answer is going to be. Last year, MGM had their first ever 12-win season. What year was their first undefeated regular season? A, 1985, B, 1965, C, 2001, or D, 1970?
I want to say 85, they were region champions.
Okay.
But I want to go with back to 1965.
Okay.
I want to throw it in the Wayback Machine for this MGM Vikings program.
All righty, we'll get Miss Diane to hit the button. And Corey, let's see what your answer is going to be. Correct. B, 1965. MGM went 10-0. And some may ask, why only 10? Well, they weren't playing playoffs back then, Corey.
Yeah, I mean, that's the 65 Viking squad came in and watched this last year team appear. And you look at appearing number 20 for the Gulf Shores Dolphins. That's Landon Everett, continuing to make plays from his Mike linebacker position with 8:45 remaining here in the fourth quarter. 2-yard loss on that play. It'll be 2nd and 12, and we'll see if Harris continues to roll out. He threw the interception last time he did roll out.
Right.
But that's because the play broke down. But Harris is very effective getting outside of the pocket, tucking it and running it. Gulf Shores has to stay home.
Javaris Petway just offset to the left. They give it to Petway. He hits the A-gap right up the middle. Picks up about 4 on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 8 coming up here for the Vikings. They can't get in front of the sticks right here in the second half.
And Jackson Sermon, 5'11", 200-pound sophomore defensive tackle with the stop for this Dolphins defense. Money down, 7:50 remaining here in the fourth quarter, 3rd and 9. And Harris just can't force the ball. You don't want to turn it over here, but he's so effective with his legs out, rolling outside of the pocket.
Pressure on Harris, up the middle he goes. Pass is complete. Pass caught by Shamir Elston. Elston hauls it in. That was huge. As you say, Corey, money down, and now it is 1st down for MGM.
Yeah, Shamar Elston, 6'2", big target. He's a senior, but Harris rolls outside of that pocket. And as the Vikings continue to pick up 1st downs, we'll see if they go tempo as well.
1st and 10, ball at the 27. Nice run right there by MGM. Gets close to the 35-yard line.
That's Thomas White, 6 foot, 200-pound junior on the carry. A fresh back here for this set of downs. Brings up 2nd and 4 for MGM with the ball being right at the 34-yard line of the Vikings.
White stays in the ball game. Standing right next to Harris. He's going to provide some blocking. Harris hits the hole, and he picks up the 1st down as he lunges past the 40 up to the 41-42 where they're going to spot him. Nice run by Shondell Harris.
Good 1st down run, good offensive line push up front. And now that you do have a fresh set of downs, if they're able to gain enough yardage, Coach loves to go tempo. Zach Golson, the head coach, along with the offensive coordinator duties, he will go quickly with no huddle, signaling from the sidelines.
Devin Petway stays back to block. They air it out, incomplete. Pass almost picked off by Gulf Shores. Jaden Dobbins had his hands on it, Corey.
And it was a straight go route. I do believe he was looking for Jaden Smith.
Right.
And with help over the top coming from Dobbins, his strong safety position knocked away. But on 1st down, taking that big shot.
Right.
That's exactly what you want to do here. And there is going to be a penalty flag.
Defense, 15-yard penalty with the yardage.
Possibly roughing the passer there.
Call against Gulf Shores, so that's a free 15 for the Vikings.
And quickly, no huddle here by this Vikings offense. Harris ready to go.
1st and 10 from the 43, handoff to Devin Petway. He's got room, heads to the sideline, lowers that head as he is knocked out of bounds near the 34, I believe.
Petway is just a big bruising back and wide receiver at 6'2". He just has so much power behind those shoulder pads. 2nd and what we'll call a long 1 yard to go. 6 minutes, our heat timeout will be probably taken after this play for MGM.
9-yard pickup by Petway. They take him out of the game. Bring in Javoris Petway. Let's see if his forward progress, they're going to say he is at the line of scrimmage, no gain on the play. 3rd down and a long one, like you said, Corey.
Landon Everett and Jamichael Garrett with that huge stop for Gulf Shores, and we will have an injury timeout. No, heat timeout is what we'll take out.
There is an injured player on the field. I think we may have a 2-for-1. We'll be right back.
This is a program for any middle school student who's actually behind. This opportunity offers kids a chance to do 2 grades in 1 year.
If it wasn't for Star Academy, I would still be in 8th grade and probably still struggling.
We are one-on-one. We have small classrooms, and we're able to give students that personal touch, that personal attention.
I know I'm coming to see good teachers, good attitude, and also they're here to teach us what we need to learn.
At Mobile County Public Schools, we believe it starts with us. That's why we offer Signature Academies.
Hello, I'm Jordan Clark, and I'm in the Health Service Academy at John L. LaFleur Magnet High School. My future career is to be an obstetrician gynecologist. With this academy, I'm learning firsthand from people already working in the industry. Shadowing them on the job really makes me want to study hard and work harder towards my career goals.
Signature Academies are open to all students in Mobile County Public High Schools. Visit MCPSS.com.
We're back. It is third and a long one, as my partner Corley Bounty called it. MGM trying to keep this drive alive. We're under 6 minutes, and the game clock is running, Cora.
Harris and Everett show right here if you're MGM.
Harris with the keeper. Picks up the first down, makes it past the 25-yard line. He had plenty of blockers in front of him.
Just great job by that offensive line on the right side. Eric Griffin, Braden Gartman, both making way along with center Ryan Holmes on that right side. Quick tempo by Zach Golson. I love it.
Going back to Harris once again. Gets inside of the 20, right at the 20. They're going to spot Harris with another carry as we approach 5 minutes left in the contest.
No huddle tempo. Again, Devin Petway, the lead blocker, creating space in the way. You can see him being that lead blocker for the Vikings, creating holes for Harris. But right now, Gulf Shores is on their heels. Red zone area coming up.
Harris calls his own number once again, but this time he is leveled right at the 19-yard line. We'll give him credit for a 1-yard pickup.
And on that tackle, you can see why Jamichael Garrett has a verbal commit to Auburn University as a junior. The will linebacker, 6'2", 200-pound junior with that solo tackle. Outstanding job there, bringing up another money down for MGM.
Third and about 4 here for the Vikings, trying to keep this drive going. Another direct snap to Harris, turns the corner, gets inside of the 15. Is it enough? Is it enough? Let's see. And yes, the chain gang is going to move. They're going to spot him at the 14.
They're going quick tempo, but another great block by Petway. I don't know if we're able to run that back and show the lead block by Devin Petway, leading the way for Harris, just waiting patiently. Great job keeping your hands inside by Petway, allowing his teammate Harris to gain the first down.
1st and 10 from the Dolphins' 14. They can pick up a first down without scoring. If they can get to the 4-yard line, that's the line to gain. Devin Petway just to the back right. They fake it to him. All the defenders eat him up, and Shondell Harris goes in, a 14-yard score for the Vikings.
Outstanding job. And I love when the offensive line rises up to the occasion. They don't get enough credit, but you look at Harris with the read option, decides to keep it, and he sees nothing but the end zone. He strolls into and gives the Vikings a huge momentum swinger with 4:09 remaining in the 4th quarter. And his blocker, Mr. Petway, is the one who comes off the field for MGM. But Shondell Harris, again, with another great rushing performance tonight.
He's run for 2 and thrown for 1 tonight. Extra point is up, and this one should be good. MGM 21. Gulf Shores 17, 4 minutes remain. Oh, it's really getting good now. Don't you move.
Did you know that missing 2 days of school per month
has a negative effect on student achievement?
And that chronic absenteeism is negatively impacting
1 out of every 10 Alabama students.
Studies show students who are chronically absent are more likely to drop out of school. For every 1 day your child is absent from school, it takes 3 days for them to catch up.
So if I am not sick, make sure I'm at school, because missing school means missing out.
The MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week is brought to you in part by BSN Sports, where you can get team apparel and equipment from baseball to cross country and all sports in between. BSN Sports, it is the heart of the game. Visit them online at bsnsports.com. Also, we got to thank Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs, save more lives. A portion of subs purchased at Firehouse will go to the Firehouse Subs Public Safety Foundation. So visit our friend Neil Patel at the Grelot Road Firehouse Subs location.
Al, we knew we were going to be in for a very special game. The defending 5A state champions moving up to 6A, a 7A semifinalist. Even though this is two new teams, a brand new year, you're still seeing an outstanding performance underneath the Friday night lights by both of these squads.
Colin Wilson setting up at his own 11-yard line, waiting for this kickoff. He's going to field it at about the 13. And just runs into one of his own blockers at the 25. Let's take a look at that scoring drive put together by MGM. It took 4 minutes off of the clock, 4 minutes and 3 seconds exactly. Another long drive, Corey, 85 yards, capped off by the 14-yard touchdown run by Shondell Harris.
We've seen a couple of 90-yard drives. We've
Right.
seen an 80-yard drive.
Saw a 93 one at one time, yeah.
Being sustained the entire length of the field, that's just a great job of keeping the penalties to a minimum that aren't making it a drive killer. And you look at Harris on that replay, Everett absolutely collapses Petway. But again, here we are, MGM crowd getting into it in the first game of the 2024 season at home.
1st and 10 from the 25. 4 minutes, 4 seconds remain. Harris. Wilson fakes the throw, takes off. He's got a blocker, and he's got room, outrunning his blocker. 50, 45, stretches up to about the 41-yard line. Corey, his big play capability is unreal.
Well, now what you're seeing is Joshua Barnes, the 6 foot, 170-pound senior, making a game-saving touchdown tackle that really was all set up by Mr. Wilson himself. He was looking, and finally the defensive backs were retreating. He went ahead and attacked 1st and 10 for Gulf Shores.
The PA announcer asking for the Vikings fans to make some noise, and they may want to do it. Gulf Shores with the handoff. Coming over from defense on the run right there. Jameer Alcius with the carry, picks up about 4. 2nd down and 6 for Gulf Shores.
You know, keep an eye on Nick Hampton, number 11, the 6'2", 210-pound junior for Gulf Shores, coming out of the backfield. He's a target if Wilson decides to throw the football at all.
They go back to Alcius once again. He weaves in, weaves out, gets past the 30-yard line up to the 29. That's a 1st down. The chain game's going to move, and the clock is moving. We're under 3 minutes, Corey.
And Gulf Shores can be very deliberate in what they want to do, because when the chains move, the clock is supposed to stop. And now what you have is MGM, I think they have at least 2 timeouts remaining, 3, and Gulf Shores has 2. So we'll see if Mr. Wilson can win this game behind his offensive line.
The Dolphins definitely need 6. A field goal's not going to do it right here for Coach Hudspeth and the crew. 1st and 10 from the 29. Direct snap to Wilson. Picks his hole, falls forward for a couple of yards. We'll give him credit for about 2 or 3. 2nd down coming up.
Comes to the short side of the field with 2 receivers to the top of the screen. He goes away from where there's plenty of room and goes to that short side and is able to pick up a couple, but a good job of the defense staying home. 2nd and 8. We'll see if this home crowd can make a difference down this home stretch.
Alcius comes into motion just to the left. Ball landed right on the thigh of Wilson. Catches the snap, takes it forward for about 3 or 4 more yards. So we'll call it 3rd down and about 4 coming up here for Gulf Shores.
And guess who makes the stop for MGM? It's their quarterback, Shondell Harris, playing both ways. He played corner a year ago and was offered by Arkansas. So now you put your best athletes on the field, and that being Harris, one of them for Zach Golson.
We're under 90 seconds. The clock is running. Big play right here, 4-down territory for Gulf Shores. Nobody home, and Wilson weaving his way. Fumble, ball is out, the ball is out. did Gulf Shores jump back on top of it? I believe they did, Corey.
What a break as MGM with the can opener drill ripped it away from Wilson, and that's the first time we've really seen him stripped of the football as he cuts back. Just a great job of going for the football, stripping and ripping, and it takes a fortuitous bounce right into the white jerseys as there's going to be a timeout on the field.
One of the big uglies jumped right on top of it. I believe it may have been Keller King. Gulf Shores calls a timeout, so Coach Hudspeth down to one timeout remaining here. 63 seconds left in the ball game, and Corey, we couldn't draw it up better, man. This is a great game tonight.
Well, this is where all of your conditioning comes in, whether it's in the summertime in the 115-degree heat index, where you find out what your fifth quarter program, your strength and conditioning program is made of, what your offensive and defensive lines are made of. We've seen Colin Wilson, the 5'9", 185-pound senior running back, who is verbally committed to the Mississippi State Bulldogs, get stronger and stronger as this game has gone along. Now, MGM, credit to them, they've made the adjustments defensively.
Especially in the second half, sure did.
Because he had 293 rushing yards at halftime, folks. He has over 300 for the game, but it is a great adjustment. Right now, 1st and 10 for the Gulf Shores Dolphins, and look who's in the game, number 14. It seems like he is at quarterback for Gulf Shores.
Quarterback change.
10.
No, that's 10. That's the backup quarterback. Pass is incomplete.
We had seen
Davis Barnett, the freshman, came in. Barnett tried to connect with Carter Davis.
We had seen him all night long, and when you want to throw the ball, we can see why. Just in the outstretched arms of Carter Bird, the 6'1", 175-pound senior. And now you see him stay in the game. Davis Barnett with Colin Wilson still being there in the game, just not at quarterback.
Wilson blocking. Barnett throws, trying to get that corner incomplete. That one intended for number 11, Nick Hampton, a guy you just talked about a couple of plays ago, Corey.
It's hard to come off the bench cold.
It is.
Without warming up and throw the ball on the money, especially a fade route. But it is money down, and we'll see what this MGM defense, whether they can rise to the occasion here at 3rd and 10 with the ball resting right at the 18-yard line.
Coach Hudspeth and Kenny Edenfield, they roll the dice and bring in the freshman for 2 plays. Now they go back to Colin Wilson. 3rd and 10. He has one timeout in his back pocket. Man in motion. Wilson keeps it, tries to pick his hole. Gets up to about the 16-yard line. Gulf Shore is going to have to burn their last timeout. It's going to be 4th and long coming up here. And it will pretty much be the ball game on this play, Corey.
Carl Smith Jr., the defensive end, 5'11", 200-pound senior. He steps up and makes a huge play for Alex Page, the defensive coordinator. And Al, you're absolutely right. It sets up 4th and 8 when we come out of this timeout. Do you say, all right, I want to go ahead and win it with Colin Wilson? Your best offensive play call here if you're Kenny Edenfield, and you know that this is where the coach's homework comes into effect, because you study what their tendencies are in the red zone area. We've seen Gulf Shores be turned away at least 3 times in the red zone area. 2 fumbles and 1 missed field goal, all inside the red zone area. And now our press box is going to be rocking and swaying.
It is.
It is the loudest the crowd is going to be all night long.
4th and a long 8 coming up here for Gulf Shores. Ball is at the 16-yard line. Davis Barnett back in.
Trips to the right.
Colin Wilson is in the slot. We'll let the crowd tell you what the result. A last-minute player comes on the field. Carter Bird came on the field the last minute, caused MGM to cause a timeout. Corey, he just snuck onto the field and lined up as a wide receiver.
And you have trips to the right coming out of that formation. And like you mentioned, in the slot is Colin Wilson. We had him a year ago with 4 receptions. I take that back, 21 receptions, 231 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Last week, he had 4 receptions and 47 yards, so he can catch it coming out of the backfield. And if you are Davis Barnett, again, I mentioned Nick Hampton and Blaze Thomas being the 2 guys that can be your go-to wide receivers for the Dolphins. Let's see if they show the same trips formation to the right or whether they decide to go ahead and make an adjustment coming out of this timeout.
I think Kenny Edenfield and Mark Husband were trying to do a little trickeration there, sneaking Carter Bird out onto the field at the last moment, and Zach Golderson decided to call a timeout.
New formation here, as now you have, again, same formation with now, like you said, Wilson being in the slot. Just need a first down. Don't have to score here, but you have to have a first down to continue this game.
Carter Davis runs onto the field for Gulf Shores. Here it is. Pressure, and Barnett is sacked on the play by MGM with 37 seconds remaining. That was 4th down. Gulf Shores out of timeouts, up 21-17, Corey. They put the pressure on the freshman.
Caleb Morris was able to break loose from his nose guard position. The 6'5", 255-pound junior. He does a wonderful job of just whooping the center at the line of scrimmage. And I'll tell you this right now, Brantley Akins did not have a chance as he just put a quick swim move on him. Let's look at that swim move one more time if we can in the truck. You'll just see outstanding defensive linemen. Just watch this swim move, folks, coming directly at you. Swim move over the center, and he just absolutely gets after the quarterback. So that's just a great defensive stance that will equate in a win for the Vikings here at home.
All MGM has to do is take a knee. Gulf Shores cannot stop the clock. What a battle we had in this ball game. Only 1 touchdown scored in the second half, but apparently that touchdown made the difference, Corey, as MGM's going to get their first win of the season, and Gulf Shores will go home 0-2, 21-17 is going to be our final score. And what a contest tonight that we witnessed, Corey.
Yeah, that's what you want to see early in the season. Another non-region test. As we know, Saraland will be taking on Gulf Shores next week. The Vikings will travel and play Daphne. So that will be a tremendous matchup. But tonight, both teams left it all out on the field. For the Gulf Shores Dolphins, it'll be a situation of missed opportunities in the red zone area.
That is correct.
For MGM, it will be a situation where you look at second half adjustments to where you kept a 293-yard rusher in the first half. He had over 320, but it was a limited number for the Dolphins in the second half of action.
Take a look at the final stats. Rushing yards, 397. Colin Wilson accounted for 364 rushing yards on 33 carries. And look at there, Corey, 416 total for Gulf Shores. Only 319 for MGM, but it made a difference. And they won the ball game with 3 turnovers. Rarely does that happen, Corey.
Also, the 3 penalties. They needed to avoid poor penalties.
You said that.
They needed to finish drives. They did that. They had a rapid reaction and response in the second half to this tremendous running game that we saw by Colin Wilson. And we were treated to a great win here in week number 1 of high school football on the MCPSS television network.
You can say this may open up a nice little rivalry between MGM and Gulf Shores. Next year, MGM will have to travel over to Gulf Shores. Hopefully, some of these Vikings fans will make the trip because Gulf Shores came in here with their quarterback banged up. Colin Wilson stepped up to the plate, and they gave MGM all they could handle tonight, Corey.
And that's what you want to see, adjustments made. I know that if you're Coach Zach, you're so happy that your defense made the challenge to stop Colin Wilson in the second half, and you leave here starting the 2024 season the same way you left it in the playoffs with a win moving forward. So I know that definitely home field advantage. You hear the Viking chants in the background.
Oh, yeah,
the press
they're
box
having a blast.
rocking. That's all you can ask for, a great high school football game on Friday night.
Absolutely. And Gulf Shores, they don't have to hang their head at all. They put up a good fight tonight, so I know they have a long trip back across the bay. But for the Viking faithful, man, they really brought it tonight on a special night for the ribbon cutting of this field, Corey, this brand new turf here at ES Grider Stadium.
Yeah, it looks great in high definition.
Yeah.
Plenty. You don't have to worry about when it rains, the sloppiness of the field or poor field conditions for a change. And it just really made a difference in the entire atmosphere as this sprint turf, we saw plenty of sprinting for sure by both
yes,
teams
we did.
as amassed with the great offenses we saw productively, but exciting to be here in Sims, Alabama to see a great finish.
Let's take it down to the sideline. Kimberly Dunn is with winning coach Zach Golson.
Congratulations on the win, Coach Golson. First win on the new turf field. How are you feeling?
Very excited, really happy for our players and our coaches, our students, everybody that's here, our community. God gets the glory for this, obviously. Man, just so fortunate to be able to come out of one like that with a win. We were on the other side of this last week, and we just kind of told our guys to stay the course, to keep doing what we've taught you to do, and believe in yourself. We got a young, inexperienced group, but they're going to learn through the fire right now.
Absolutely, and next week you're entering into that region play. How do you feel that this game has helped prepare you to get ready for that really tough schedule?
Yeah, both these first two are going to be a big help to us. To find a way to come win one of these, I think is big for this group of guys. New team, trying to find their identity, find how we're going to win games. And hats off to our players, man. They really showed some guts out there tonight. Can't say enough about them. Love them to death.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations, Coach. I'll let you go celebrate with your team. Thank you.
All right, Kimberly, we do appreciate it. Big win for MGM tonight. Speaking of region play, we're going to open up region play 7A Region 1 as the Baker Hornets will head over to face Davidson next week. That's our MCPSS high school football game of the week. For Kimberly Dunn, Corley Bounty, our statisticians, China Powell and Matt Moore, I'm Al Whedon, thanking you for joining in. MGM gets the win over Gulf Shores, 21-17. Have yourself a great weekend and a great and safe Labor Day weekend.